last time in the Waste. Just as a recap to kind of get where the arc has led so far. Well done on getting a 20 to start out. Whoever rolled that.
That was me. It's the only one you'll ever see.
It's a good sign. Good sign. So, essentially, your task began to meet with Rutha, a slagger of Cratertown, in order to make a deal for art piece that she was selling. She only wanted to meet with Jax. She had dealt with Jax in the past and trusted him. And Jax brought you along because it's a dangerous environment. Didn't really know exactly what to expect from this deal. So he brought some muscle, including Dim, Fang, and Fikrin. And as you guys entered into that deal, you realized very quickly you were in for far more than a piece of art. As Rutha revealed that she had basically found a combination code that would unlock this very valuable vault in an apartment in the Rune. The Rune is a city like you're seeing in this little splash page here. It's been cratered out. It's filled with smog that if you spend too long out in the environment, it will cause what they call breakneck, paranoia that makes you go, they're not zombies, but they're not zombies, if that makes sense. Like you kind of lose some, it's more animalistic, there's a bit more intelligence there, but you kind of go back to these kind of more feral instincts. And you met one of them in the tunnels as you made your way into town, and she definitely wanted those boots back at some point. And you guys snuck through the ruins, and then you came across, to your surprise, the chemist had not only survived the encounter that everyone perceived him to be dead, but he was beginning his operation once again. And the acid that he was creating was burning away the toxic atmosphere. So you saw that there was like this practical aspect that he was trying to work with this toxicity in order to kind of rein it in. You also met a bit of his plan, if you will, with the Chem Howler. So the slaggers that succumb to breakneck, they're called howlers, and they're that's where they kind of fully go into this animalistic mind, this paranoid mind. But you met some Chem Howlers, is what we're calling them. These monstrosities where the chemist had harnessed some of the strongest and most powerful howlers to do his bidding. And they were kind of like these monstrous creatures, and they were incredibly resistant to harm. They just walked right through the acid and healed back. So something about their chemical makeup, something about what he was doing was creating these weaponized howlers. In addition to that, you saw that there was several more kind of waiting in hibernation. At least you saw the canisters prepared for more of these creatures. And you realized that he was up to something. In particular, you saw in his notes that he was stating how he needed the formulas that were inside the vault. So the chemist and the rangers are working together to get this big score. The chemist has something planned for the information inside, but they need that combination to get inside. So that's where we left off the last session. And then we had a little bit of play-by-post, and stuff hit the fan. You were meeting with some guards in the alley. You threw a frag grenade at their feet and wiped them out, but the sound attracted more attention. You made your way into a hotel to be tracked down by more of the rangers hot on your heels, and you rigged a door to go off with a concussion grenade with those chasing you. And Fang had a little bit of a tussle with a jetpack-wearing ranger that was providing overwatch. So, if you'll allow me a little bit of hand-waving this evening to get us right into the action. What happens after this is you are able to lose the close tail. The concussion grenade goes off. The assailants are stunned. You are able to get closer to the high-rise apartment where the vault is. The rangers are camped out. All their operations you can see there at the base. But inexplicably, you see an opening in their defenses to get inside the building. And you are able to take it. And you're able to do this without being directly tailed. Nobody has seemed to spot you. And we join tonight's adventure as you've made your way into the building and begin the climb up the stairs. But before you went inside, you did notice one detail that I want to note. As you looked up, you saw at the top of the building the shadowy silhouette of a box hanging from a wire. And you don't know exactly how it works, but you did get a glimpse and a clue that the Rangers had created some sort of traversal system on the rooftops of these buildings, and some sort of traversal system waits on top. So you make your way up the stairs. The creaking and groaning is evident as you make your way up. It's a long flight as the apartment is higher up in the building. The building sways and creaks and groans where if it was to undergo enough damage, this whole building would begin to crumble, which is why they've not stationed themselves up top. So here we join the adventure. What I would like to do is just have an opening scene of climbing the stairs and to let each of you kind of get back into your characters before we go to the next scene, and just kind of describe what that scene looks like, what each character is doing as you climb the stairway, and we will kind of get into the action as you arrive at the apartment. But I want to give an opportunity just for everybody to set the scene, get the mind's eye going. So with that, what we will do is we'll shuffle up initiative order. Everyone just give me a D20 roll, and that will establish initiative. So Fang's 11. Okay. So Dim, Jax is first.
I had a 4, and then I re-rolled it because Figrin also had a 4.
Okay.
I defer to you. I'll take cleanup.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, I'll go second to last.
So with that, Dim leads the way, unless you say otherwise. But that's kind of what the dice have told.
Hey,
So
that's
what
it is.
Give us a picture here. What does this look like for Dim?
Dim doesn't fully understand why they're even here, I don't think. She kind of goes where she's told and sticks with her crew, but I know there's something here that we're supposed to recover, but I don't really understand the importance or why it matters. So I don't really care. My concern is to take the brunt of anything that we run into head first. That's my job. That's what I know. That's what I'm good at. So she's alert. She's paying attention. She knows based on direction from the guys that we're headed up, and that's all that's on her brain right now.
Go ahead and give me a Constitution roll as you climb the stairs.
Starting
Okay.
strong.
Okay.
Starting strong.
The adrenaline is pumping, which is not necessarily a bad thing for her. But the adrenaline is flowing, so we are going to say you take a D4 of adrenaline, and fitting, you start out with 4. So your heart beating, you have a heavy load to take regardless. Your body is taxed as you're climbing these stairs with your junk shield, heavy axe, your armor, and various kinds. And so you're not necessarily breathing heavy, but your body is on full alert, and you're ready for action.
That tracks.
It brings us to Fang.
Fang is basically just behind Dim. His kind of motive here is he's like he's counting the floors of where where the statistically the vault will be, and he's doing the math of where might they put checkpoints just in case, like a guard or two. He's doing that. He's doing security stuff, right? He's doing how far till the vault, where would I put guards just in case.
Okay. As you climb, you realize that the climb itself is its own form of security. It is a taxing climb. And as you get higher and higher up, you feel the building swaying more and more underneath you. I've heard how they build buildings to withstand hurricanes and things by giving a certain amount of flex. Well, imagine if that was just overly taxed by whatever devastation happened to the ruin. And so the whole building has a little bit of a ship on the sea feel to it. And as you get higher and higher, you realize that just this, the situation itself, they didn't want to risk having additional security, and everything seems to be cleared out. You can tell from the floor numbers as you climb, and it kind of says, level 14, level 30. As you climb and go higher, and you would know from Rutha's notes, like what floor the vault is on in the apartment. Yeah. As you climb higher, you realize that this is the tallest building around, and you're kind of able to calculate in your head and realize that you're going to be higher than any other building that is surrounding the apartments. One detail you do notice, too, is that this is, the building is called Orvold's Skyrise, and you realize this is the luxury apartments, Orvold's Skyrise. Fantastic. Give me a con roll as well. It's taxing everybody, so go ahead and give a... Yeah, there you go.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean, I did do this entire, trek of a hotel in the Flame Coast. Fang is just used to this.
He's well conditioned at this point. I'd say for that 20, what we're going to do is... I'm not sure what that 20 rewards you with besides the feeling of accomplishment for rolling a 20. So well done.
Fair.
If I had a better idea, I would use it. Okay.
Element.
That brings us to Jax.
Well, Jax is breathing really heavy, even though he's carrying mostly paper and pens and various things, nothing to the same weight as Dim. He is exhausted. The only thing that's keeping him going is that as he's going up, he starts recounting some facts to kind of make himself feel better, and he just kind of shouts out in the stairwell. He's like, I know there's a lot of stairs, but be happy. I heard there was an old civilization in this place called New York, the seat of their empire, this state building. It was said to have, what was it, 15,760 steps from bottom to top. 15,000. Could you imagine? What
Is that a lot, or?
Yeah, I mean, we've only probably done 400 here. Maybe 1,000 at most by the time we're done. 15,000. Could do this 15 times.
Oh,
Glad
yeah,
we're
that's
not
a
in that
lot
building.
more.
Excellent.
Well, that's helpful, son. Thank you for being such a morale director on this team. That's exactly what we need.
It could be worse, guys.
Go ahead and give me that. Go and give me that con roll as well, Jax, as you climb.
Come on, Jax.
That's a 14.
Okay, not quite. You take a D4. Take three adrenaline as you spend too much time trying to explain yourself and over explain to Dim, who's not quite getting it, and so you run out of breath just a bit more as you realize I don't even know how many stairs are here. Am I losing my mind? Okay.
Sorry.
That brings us to Figrin.
Figrin is bringing up the rear, and he's concerned. He is huffing behind the group behind Jax, listening to him jabber, and he is very attuned. And he's got a lot of concern. He's trying to note. He's listening to the sound of the groan that the steps make, or that the railings. He tugs on them a little bit as he crawls up the stairs to find out, as they ascend staircase by staircase, whether or not the structural integrity of the whole place is monotonically and slowly degrading as they go higher and higher up. And this is giving him pause, also muttering under his breath. He's like, we gotta keep moving. You got all these stupid fogglers behind us. These rope pushing noodle dorks trying to mess us up. Bleeping jackholes. You gotta keep on moving. Don't know why I ran out of fragmentation grenades. Gotta do a better deal next time.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Go ahead and give me that Constitution roll as you climb the stairs.
13 on the mod.
Okay. You take 4 adrenaline as well.
Oh.
Fang is the only one keeping his breath as you guys kind of move up and move your way in. And you eventually arrive at the floor of the apartment. The door is propped open, a small corridor leading into this would be the only apartment on the floor. Give me a little bit of grace with it's hard to find the exact concept art that fits the scene, so maybe not a building quite so massive and sprawling as the one you're seeing in this art. So just zoom it down just a little bit where it would essentially take this whole floor. One thing that you immediately notice as you come to this level is that there's a severe lack of windows. There is a security measures that things are shrouded in a degree of darkness. Small lights kind of light the way. Some form of rudimentary power has been provided for the operation. And as you arrive, you all are aware, part of the difficulty in the climb is you are currently wearing gas masks to protect yourself from the environment, and those are getting just more and more choked up as the filters are used, and you have 12 rounds remaining for those being effective. You're not just going to drop dead once those are spent, but it will start to make things more difficult, whether that's harder rolls or you'll start to accumulate adrenaline. We'll kind of have to see where the narrative leads at that point. But you know that you're on borrowed time as far as being able to keep the toxic air out. We arrive at the entrance to the corridor. You are able to leave the stairs, and Dim, you're up first. What do you do?
Well, I gotta clear the room so that we can get in. So I'm gonna head down here and see what I can see. Is there anybody in here who needs a bashing?
As you move in, you see the initial opening of the apartment. It is worn down with time, but there's a great degree of practicality to the room. And you see that in their arrogance, which tends to be the Achilles heel of the Rangers, in their arrogance, they didn't perceive anybody sneaking back up to the top of this building past their defenses. And you see that they have left some supplies, including a gun, a weapon of some kind sitting on the table here. You
Okay.
look over to the side, you see a door that is propped open, leading into another room deeper inside the apartment. And overall,
that
like,
wall?
yes, that's a doorway there, that little square that you're seeing.
Great.
And overall, you can just see that it appears that the Rangers left some of their equipment. If you were to take a closer look, you could potentially find some items of value. But besides this, the room is empty, and it's almost disconcertingly empty, where there's been no response. It seems like the Rangers' pursuit has calmed down to a degree where you're stuck in eerie silence.
Okay, so there's no sound or anything coming from that other door that I can hear that other people might be over there?
That's correct. Nothing at this point.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll move into the room, and I see some goodies on the table, but they look a little out of my scope. I think those are for other folks. So I'm just gonna post up here and be ready, because I know the guys are gonna come in and want to check everything out, and I just want to not be distracted. I want to be focused on getting jumped.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a charisma roll for your focus.
Nope.
Okay. So breathing heavy. There's nothing that you missed, but your adrenaline is still surging through as you're feeling somewhat scared of not scared, but you're concerned about the other side of the door. You're concerned about the stairwell. You're concerned it's a little too quiet. Something is unnerving you, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And that brings us to Fang.
Fang is going to go into the door and check the table.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a D12 roll, please, as you find a weapon of higher value. 11. You find a Valkyrie rocket launcher with one rocket. Valkyrie rocket launcher with one rocket. It does triple ultimate to
Charles!
everything close to its target. Now, I will say that it's not going to be a huge explosion, but it's not contained to a single target either. So this would be essentially like a frag grenade that you're shooting, but triple ultimate. But it's not going to like nuke the target that you're sending necessarily. You don't even know the potency of the explosives involved, but it was quite idiotic of the Rangers to leave this sitting around. Somebody did not do their disciplined duty to pick up after themselves and take stock of their gear. Anything else that you do?
Fang immediately just goes, Charles, this is for you. Charles is thinking, for reference.
Well, that is a fine gift. Fine gift, Mr. Fang. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay. Anything else for you, Fang?
I'm actually going to look. So is this door locked?
Nope.
Or anything?
It's just cracked open. You can open it further if you'd like.
I will open it further.
Okay. You open up what appears to be the living quarters of this apartment. As you kind of come in, you see a workstation, and ominous on the wall of the far side here, you see the vault door. This is what Rutha would have seen when she saw it, and you can see that this has been attempted by the Rangers and the chemist. Various scorch marks, different explosions kind of marking the wall, any sort of attempt to try and get at this thing, but thus far has proven inaccessible. And you see their spent equipment lying around. You kind of see like a welder's mask that they would have put on to try to like burn through it, but nothing has appeared effective. The vault door stays intact, and you see a living quarters besides that in the area around you.
That will be my turn.
Okay, that brings us to Jax.
Yeah. Just remember that Rutha found that ray gun in the nightstand of this apartment.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, if you see something like it might be more potent than you think. But Jax is going to come into the room, and he's going to like set down his pack, and he's going to pull out the tubed oil painting that he has, and on the back it has the code that they pulled from that they had from it. So he's going to like have that out in the ready and kind of be like carrying it around like a map, even though it's not a map.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as you pull out that painting, you are reminded of the note. The note that on the back of the painting that has the combination also reads, "This is the end. I've saved all I could," and then it lists off the combination for the door.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the right heart finds this. May God have mercy on us all. Luther Van Wyck, which you know to be a high-ranking official in the SteelNet technology group. Okay, so as you unfurl that, the combination is clearly written out there. This is the key to the door.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
He's just going to start wandering around looking for anything that looks like a vault to him. He's like, no.
Excellent. As you look around, go ahead and give me a D6 roll.
3.
And then go ahead and give me a D20.
A D20, okay. 5.
Okay, you see that one of the Rangers has left behind a customized crowbar. It has a grip on it. It's kind of been scratched in with tally marks, probably of how many skulls it's bashed in. And you see that one of the Rangers was careless enough to leave this behind. It's crowbar. It's also an effective tool.
And now I have 2 crowbars.
Dual-wielding crowbars.
Love it.
Okay, that brings us to Figrin.
Figrin, I assume the door that we came in here opened into the apartment, is that correct?
That's correct.
Well, just not something, a crate like this one here, or a chair or something like that, and slide it over, just so at least it'll make noise if somebody creeps in behind them or tries to. It'll slow down anybody coming in. And then examining the table just to see what it is, and see if I see whatever signs of activity other than rocket launcher cleaning and normal maintenance or whatever. At that point, he just wants to take this side over here, maybe this cabinet or what, these lockers, and just ransack them.
Okay.
Anything that might be useful to him, some rounds for the SMG or anything else that would be, but really give those a good thorough looking over.
Go ahead and give me a D6 roll.
That's
Okay.
a 6.
And with that, you see that the Rangers have been careless enough to leave another valuable weapon. The last one in the room, go ahead and give me a D12 roll.
That's a 7.
Okay. You find the perfect fit for you, Figrin. You find a grenade launcher, and with it is one grenade. Go ahead and give a D3 roll, so like a D6, and we'll see
1, 2,
what
3,
type,
4, 5, 6.
we'll see what kind of grenade you get.
5.
Okay. You find a smoke grenade. The cloud covers all near for D4 rounds. So you could fill a whole room in the apartment for D4 rounds, or you could cover like a near cloud if you were to use it outside. So you find a smoke grenade launcher.
Is a grenade deployable manually as well? If I just
Sure.
wanted to roll it down the hallway or something like that? Okay. Outstanding. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good find.
Mm.
Okay.
Just a little something to cover our tails, just in case we get into trouble when those crank anchors come running up those stairs.
Okay.
I don't think they'll be
Noodle
running up those
dorks.
stairs. If they're running, just put your hands up. They're better shape than we are. We're good to go. Like, ugh. I can't run anymore.
I don't know what you're
All-
talking about. I don't know what you're
all
talking
I'm
about, Jax.
Look, Fang,
Just-
just because you have thighs of like a tree trunk doesn't mean the rest of us do.
Hey, speak for
Agreed.
yourself.
Look, have you seen a pencil? Those are my legs. Thank you.
Sure. Oh, okay, gotcha.
All that happens is you feel the smog that has infiltrated this apartment choke up your gas mask filters just a little bit more. And that is all that happens. Again, still eerily quiet. What do you do next? That brings us back to Dim.
Well, I know where one door in the apartment is. I want to know if there's another way in or out. So I'm coming through here.
Okay. So you see what Fang saw. You see the residential area, a workstation, a very kind of Spartan type living. But you also do see the shadows on the wall where there would have been art but has been taken down and salvaged. You see that cabinets and boxes and any sort of containers of any kind have been overturned and kind of tossed about as people have looked for any sort of clue, perhaps how to get into the vault. And most of it is old. It's not necessarily destroyed by the sun, as the sunlight has not come into their room, but age and must and the smell, without your gas mask, would be quite pungent. But with the gas mask on, you can just sense the age of the air that you're dealing with, and the smoky smells of the burns they've tried to do to like break into the vault. You see up against the wall to your side here, you see where there was like they've tried to break into the vault by going around the door, and they've smashed into like solid steel by breaking through the drywall. They've tried everything they can to get in there, but the vault door has held steady still. Again, eerily quiet, nothing, no threats, no imminent threats. Just you and the vault door in an empty room.
No windows or anything in here.
No
That's what I was
windows.
going to ask.
This apartment is secure. It was a secure location by a security-minded fellow. And so what that means is you're not seeing any windows, and there's only been that one entrance in or out. Essentially, the whole apartment can function as a bit of a panic room, as you
Yeah.
realize that it's been bottleneck, which can both be helpful and not helpful, depending on what
Pillbox.
side of things you're on.
Yeah,
Let's go
gotcha.
with
Okay.
pillbox.
Hey, Jax, I think you're gonna want to see this.
Oh yeah? What is it?
Big ass door of some kind.
Ooh. That's what we're looking for. Alright.
That's it for me.
Fang is gonna loot a bit. He's gonna look around this section of the apartment.
Go ahead and give me a D100 roll.
Ooh, okay. 58.
Okay. You find what was tossed aside by the Rangers, not seeming use for it, but it could prove useful. You find a whistle. It creates a very loud sound that can be heard up to the double far away.
Alright, and that is it for me. I want to position myself so I see whatever comes out of the vault first, just in case something weird is gonna attack us. So I want to position myself like on the whatever side it'll like open away from.
Sure.
That's the side I want to be on.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. You are first at the entrance, ready for when it opens. That brings us to Jax.
So yeah, he's gonna take his painting and he's gonna just slowly walk over, eyes wide at the big vault door, and so he's gonna, look at it and just look at him. He's like, "Okay, this is the vault. I think I have the combination. We just have to turn this," and pointing at the dial in this certain way, hopefully in this order. Who knows how thick this is? It could be a foot. It could be 10 feet. It could be 100 feet of steel behind this. They're quite thick at times, but he's gonna just slowly have the painting up or wedged up on one side so he could see the code, and he's gonna start fiddling with it. 38 to the left, 24 to the right, 13 to the left, another 11 to the left, 76 to the right, and 8 to the left.
As you all hear Jax working, there is again that eerie silence. The entire room, even out in the other room with Figrin kind of keeping guard, all you hear are these thick clicks. Click, click, and then the big clunk that follows when the correct combination is entered. And then more click, click, click. A big clunk that follows. And I need all of you to make a charisma roll. If you fail the charisma roll, you gain an additional 2 adrenaline, as this is just like a moment you've all kind of been waiting for. And it is unnerving because you don't know what's on the other side.
My second
Hooray!
one on a.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
16.
I'm good.
The vault door groans open with the final click, and you hear all the pins, and it is very loud as this mechanisms fall into place, and the door pops open ever so slightly, the grind of metal. It is this huge moment that the stale air puffs out of the vault that has not been opened in decades. And as it puffs out, you hear the crack of glass as the pressure in this room changes from behalf of the age and the air inside. And as you hear that glass crack, you get your first view inside of the vault. So, Fang, I'm just gonna just have you step inside and kind of see
You're
this
good.
and describe it for everybody.
Yep.
So as you step in, Fang, you see a laboratory. The private workstation of Luther Van Wyck. And you see that he has stored samples of various kinds. As you're first to the door, you look and you see these big tubes holding these like you can't tell if they're living, if they're pickled, or what exactly is going on. But you see these terrible creatures with round, fanged mouths and eyes on the side of their head. You see what appears to be a computer of some kind floating in a liquid that appears to just kind of be spinning on its own with no current in the liquid that you can perceive. You look over in the other corner and you see what seems to be like a parasitic plant, but with the shape of like small children molded into its form. Terrible and gruesome sights. You realize these are the deepest and darkest secrets of SteelNet, and I need you to make a madness roll.
I don't even have any adrenaline.
We'll say you only fail on a 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So a shudder and a chill hits your spine as you see all of this. Now, you notice the glass cracking. As you kind of look over, you see that the glass cracks on this tube, and you see a large spider, about the size of, I don't know, we'll say it would be the size of this thing. So it's not like a absolute monster, but it is a terrifying sight. And the glass of the tube cracks and shatters. You see the glass, and it's kind of released, and it springs to life. As it crawls on the floor, you see it disappear as pigments on its skin blend into its surroundings. Sort of like you would see in any sort of movies where there's active camo of some kind. The spider disappears from view, and you just see like a shuffle of particles on the ground, and then it's impossible to perceive where the thing would be. In addition to this, as the vault opens, Figrin would hear the sound of a door opening outside the apartment, perhaps another level of the stairwell, and the sound of boots stomping. Okay, so what I'm going to do is bring us back around to a fresh round. Okay, so we're going to have Dim go first. I'm not going to count down the time or anything, just because that was kind of a narrative moment. I had a lot of things to say. Back to you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with my MO of clearing the room. So I know Fang is already in there, don't know what's in there, don't really care. I just want to make sure there's no bad guys, so I'm gonna step in.
Okay. You see equipment crates on the table and on the wall. You see various things strewn about. You see files and papers, folders with notes. You see different like archived notebooks, a stack of them. That would be from Luther Van Wyck, and you see all the same sights that Fang would have seen. I'm not going to have you make a madness roll, as you're a little bit more prepared walking in.
Okay.
But all that to say, you would not be aware of the spider until Fang would inform you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these guys are just like encased in liquid, all 3 of those.
Yes, the glass is cracked, but they're all contained in tubes.
Okay, this one's a computer, you said. The other 2 are living entities of some kind.
Mm-hmm. You
Like
can't tell if
experimental?
preserved or currently living, but experimental of some
okay.
kind.
Some sort of.
And the computer is
biological.
like a floating technological cube that appears to be whirring and clicking, floating
That is
in the
so cool.
suspended in the liquid.
That is legit one of the coolest things I've seen in a game. Dim doesn't care about it because she has no idea what it is, but I think it's super awesome. And this whole place is like just one big room, right? Are there vents? Is there any kind of entry other than this door that we just came in?
There is no other entry. It is a vault.
Okay. I'm just gonna step. I don't know about the spider. I'm just gonna step to the middle of the room and be ready in case any of these weird things break glass.
Give me a D20 roll as we step toward the table.
7.
Pardon me, let me find the right table. You look at the equipment crate in front of you, and you read that. I'm going to have you re-roll, because they've already had this show up in the campaign. So go ahead and give me another D20 roll.
Turn module.
1. That's my third one.
So you find a set of exo arms McGrady Exo Arms. And as you see it, you see that they're like these like skeletal features that basically like harness into your arms and on your body. And once it's attached, all strength rolls are easy when you're wearing
Yes,
these
please.
Exo Arms.
Can I just... That looks like it fits on my arms and stick my arms into them?
Sure, it's going to take some time, and you're vulnerable as you're doing that. But absolutely, you can start the process.
Great. Love it.
Okay,
Okay.
it's awesome.
That's it.
Fang is loaded with like items. I have one item slot left, but we'll see. He's gonna go down here and inspect the computer, but also check the gear stuff.
Okay. As you look through the computer, you don't see the computer as being operable. There's some emergency basic lighting, but none of the technology seems to be like, there's no consoles to see or anything. Mainly what you see are just boxes of notes and notebooks and file folders and just like paper artifacts. As you see the other equipment crate, you see that there's another equipment crate in the room. Go ahead and give me a D20 roll.
To be clear, I meant like the floating one. The floating.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Go ahead and give me that D20 roll, and we'll come back to the computer.
Yeah. 13.
Okay. You find an experimental set of nanoskin. It has a long experimental designation following the name, but it's coded nanoskin. It's basically like wearing this like almost like an underlayer of like Under Armour kind of tight-fitting clothing that's a mesh. You heal 1 HP per round as you're wearing it.
Okay.
So it would take some
That's it.
time. You have to have it up against the skin. You would be reading like instructions and that sort of thing. To kind of like, and you'd realize like it would take time to basically like shed your clothing and get this on. But once it does, it has an automatic kind of
That's cool.
triage function where you heal a HP per round.
Cool.
That's cool.
And then the floating computer?
As you look at the floating computer, you see, sample XB7, like a long designation listed. And you see even on its designation with its notes, there's been things that have been redacted, like the metal placard has things like scraped off, which you're wondering why this high-level guy in his vault would have information redacted. It must be a truly terrifying artifact. But you just see the designation mainframe for the cube that clicks and whirs inside of the liquid.
Is there a way I can take it out of the liquid?
You would have to unseal the canister and take it out, and you wouldn't be able to do that and be putting on the armor at the same time.
I'm not putting on the armor. I just have it.
Okay, sounds good.
I actually have to drop something to take that. So do I just write down cube?
So it would take some time to unseal the canister. You can start that process, but it'll kind of be in your possession next round.
Okay, steel net. I'm gonna write on steel net cube.
Okay.
I'll have to drop something, so I drop the mindful stones on the floor.
Okay. To be clear, also, there is a certain amount of dread surrounding this artifact, so you're taking a certain amount of risk taking this cube.
Yeah.
So I just want that to be clear as a GM.
Yeah, I'm deciding on that one. I'm actually gonna do my turn, and I'm gonna roll. So I actually don't take it because I rolled a blank.
Okay.
Yeah.
You kind of want to, though.
I really want to.
Pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, I really
As
do
you
want to-
reach out and you're making your decision, you are suddenly hit, boom, with a vision, and you are like having an out-of-body experience, and you see these flashes of different visions as you kind of like reach out toward the cube, and you see like visions of combat boots climbing stairs, and you see the vision of a hand holding a explosive device of some kind as you kind of zoom and see this vision, and then the vision turns and you see those figures approaching the apartment door, and you snap back to reality.
Then I do take the cube.
Okay, as you take the cube, you hear like the clicking and whirring of the cube. The cube stops and becomes inert, but you continue to hear the clicking and whirring in your mind as if it was surrounding you completely. And you take 3 adrenaline as this thing begins to like worm its way into your mind. You sense some sort of psychic oppression happening as you pick this thing up.
Okay. I have the cube.
You are the cube, I think, now.
I think I might be the cube, yeah.
Yeah. Jax, there's a lot of writing in here.
I'm looking. I'm coming to look. Can I roll? What I want to do is I want to, like, now that I've actually gotten in, I know that whose vault this is. I've heard, I'm aware of the history behind it. Can I use my scholar ability to, like, just gain some more insight on, like, his plans? A notebook, as always, would be more than happy for Jax, but I want to see if I can get a little bit more clear insight.
Absolutely. As you kind of like take in the vault, you reference the chemist's book that you were able to get in his lab, and you realize that he was after some particular information about that Luther had in his vault, and he listed designation of a particular notebook, a particular set of notes, the size of a moleskin, the scrawlings of a scientist, and he lists this as like something in particular that was referenced by some other research that he's done. And you see a bookshelf with the books of a similar description listed, and you kind of like list your way across the shelf, and you're able to find the specific notebook that was designated. As you're able to open it and flip it open, you see that this book was listing details of a particular project. They didn't even have a name for it, but essentially it was a form of what's the word? There's a really great word for this, and I'm losing the word. It is psychological pacification, and that they were developing a chemical substance that would be able to basically affect the minds of enemies and be able to, pacify an entire city before that city, maybe, stopping riots, stopping coups, basically being able to like put a whole city in its place. And you see some details of notes that this is whatever substance is currently surrounding and saturating the ruin. Its origins of this substance are found in these notes.
Ooh. Excellent.
And this would clearly be what the chemist was searching for to be able to perfect his work. So you have another codex. Well done.
Yes. Yes.
Like 4 now?
You have Luther's codex.
I have 3 codex. No, I have 4. I have my own, I have Rutha's, I have the chemist, and now I have Luther's.
Nice.
Wild.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Okay. Still a giant spider. Invisible giant spider.
I have no idea
Bring
about
us
that.
to
I am
I
completely
don't know what you're
unaware.
talking about.
just making sure that it's out there. All right, Thigrin. You would hear the sounds of commotion outside the door, and you would hear people approaching the door.
Environmental questions.
Yes.
Is this point an actual hatch in the ground, or is that just map clutter?
It is just map clutter, not a hatch in the ground.
Is this area here?
You're stuttering just a little bit.
I beg your pardon. Is this area here raised above
Yes,
the floor?
it is elevated. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Last question: is the ceiling? Is it a suspended ceiling by any chance?
So let me ask what you're looking for. What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, I want to have a place where I can get out of the way of anybody who's going to come in this door, because my intent is to ambush and kill them all dead.
Okay. So you would be able to basically shuffle some items around if you wanted to like get behind something and hide. The ceiling really wouldn't be accessible very easily, and this is kind of like a secure location. It's kind of a safe house of sorts. So
Okay, that's what it.
it wouldn't
what
be
it
very
is.
permeable. It's kind of one way in and one way out.
Okay. What I will do then is I turn and I look through the door, and a second ago I could see Jax, and now that crazy J-Cat has gone into the vault, and I can't signal him because I'd be like, son, and he's gone. And so I'm on my own here. And so what I would do as quietly as I can, since I'm still here by the door, is to slide whatever I put into it out of the way, so it won't actually impede anybody or make any noise or impede the door from going. And then I would like to climb up to this raises and go prone.
Okay.
So that I am gonna have wherever I can get where I can have line of sight, but I am flat, and I want to have a bead on that door for when anybody comes in around, and I'll just chill out and lay there prone with my SMG.
Okay. That brings it to my turn. As you watch the door, you hear the footsteps slow down outside, and as the footsteps slow down, you hear again the arrogance of the Rangers being a bit of a flaw. You hear a Ranger voice call out and be like, "Thanks for opening the door for us. We'll take it from here."
Thank you.
And the door cracks open just enough for a small metallic object to be flung into the middle of the room. I need you to make a hard Constitution roll as a concussion grenade fills the entire space and your ears begin to ring.
Come on, Figrin.
Nope.
Okay. All of you would hear this, like, it would be upsetting even to those inside the vault. This silence being pierced by this deafening sound. All of you in the vault take 1 adrenaline. Figrin, I hesitate to do this as a GM ever, but this is the one circumstance. You are stunned completely for a round. You, like,
Understood.
your eyesight is gone, your ears are ringing, and all you can make out as you kind of like are trying to come to yourself is at least one shape that enters the room as they kick the door open.
While stunned, I should be out of view.
Yep, so you're lying prone and they haven't spotted you yet, as there's kind of like, you know, a certain amount of smoke that kind of
Yeah,
comes
they
from the territory.
just dropped a flashbang in my lap, so okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And a squad of Rangers watching all the corners, scanning the room, comes in. They haven't spotted Figrin yet, but you would hear them like basically calling out, and they're spreading out, filling the room, looking for any potential targets. They haven't spotted Figrin. He's stunned for a round, and in addition to this, Dim, you begin to feel a weight crawling up your leg. And I need you to make a dex roll for me.
Dex. 12.
Okay. As you kind of like try to fling it off, whatever it is kind of sinks in. And as you kind of like look over your shoulder, you see like the head of this spider start to like emerge from nothingness as you feel the weight, and you kind of see this like sitting on your shoulder. Its fangs begin to protrude and its fangs sink into you. If you don't remove this thing as it kind of crawls and like basically hooks itself onto your body, the toxin will be too potent and you will drop and begin to die if you do not get this thing off.
Cool. Love that. That's great.
Jax and Fang, you would see this thing like latch on basically latch on to Dim's back and sink its fangs in, as you kind of see like a flash of color as its pigments change. And back to Dim.
I'm going to raise my fireman's axe, but I want the pick side of it that's like pointy, facing the spider, and I'm going like this to try to hook it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a strength roll. You just got those exo arms on, and this is what, like your hand kind of like clicks into place, almost like, and then it, the
That's so
robotic
cool.
motion sinks back into the thing. Oh yeah.
16.
There you go. The pick slices into the spider. It gives a terrible like scream as you kind of kill it, and it falls off of you and shrivels onto the floor as you've had the successful hit. But you feel the toxins continuing to kind of work its way into your system. You're not going to die. It didn't get a full potent dose, but it's going to start affecting you in a bad way.
Okay. Did it die?
It's dead. Yeah, you've killed it.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well, I don't feel great. So that happened. I'm gonna I gotta go. I'm gonna kind of stagger. I heard the flashbang, and I need to get to Figuring, because I know he's out here by himself.
You would be able to see through the door. You would be able to see the Rangers and kind of like keep yourself out of their sight, but you would be able to see them as you left the vault.
Okay. How far could I get if I wanted to, like, get to them?
I would say if you burn a grit, you would be able to be right in their midst. So you would just tear off into them. That would be your option.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
On a modified attack roll of 15 plus, which I just got, I get to make another attack. Can I split that up with movement, or does it have to be like bam bam?
You spending a grit would let you take a swing as well. I'll allow that, but you would have to burn a grit to like get all the way to them in their midst and roll for the attack.
Okay, so I'm gonna come around the corner and see how many Rangers there are. I know Figrin is out there, and I know he has that shiny new toy, and if I get in the way of those guys, it's gonna foobar the whole thing. So I'm just gonna I'm not gonna rush him.
Okay.
I don't know, he's stunned, so I'm gonna hang back and let him blow them up.
One thing as you make your choice is you wouldn't know this as your character. You wouldn't be able to say, oh, Figrin's stunned. But as a player, Figrin is stunned for a round. He doesn't have a turn. So
Right.
he's out. The other factor is these guys are carrying their quintessential ranger bows, and range is their friend, and being knotted up with an enemy would not be. So there would be an advantage to basically like pushing the attack with these guys, because they would prefer to like pick you off from a distance. So not saying that it's oh, you should make this choice, but it's something to keep in mind of like you would strategically know that it's going to be better to be knotted up with these guys than trying to pick them off.
Sure. I think based on the fact that I don't know he's stunned, I'm gonna hang back, because I think he can get them. So I'm just gonna wait and see if he blows them up.
Okay. Sounds good. Do you want to move to the door or any further to kind of get yourself ready?
Yeah, I'll like tuck up on this wall so they can't get a clean shot at me.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. That brings us to Fang.
So, Fang is going to stash the cube somehow in his go bag, and then he's going to go up to Dim, if I can move that far. Would that be good?
Yep, absolutely.
And I will pull out a syringe of anti-venom for the pack rat and inject it into Dim.
Fantastic. That's awesome. Great use of the pack rat. That's great. You just like happen to have that ready.
Yeah.
I think I think you like stab her in the back of the neck with the syringe, and she like goes like she's gonna go attack you and sees it's you and is like, oh, cool, sorry.
Thought it was
That
another
was
spider.
exactly how I imagined it, yeah. My
I'll
other,
kill you. Oh, okay, wait, sorry.
I do have a rule question though.
Yeah.
With a burning of a grit, can Fig move at all, or is that still a no go? Is it that powerful?
Oh,
I-
good question.
It's a flashbang, and he failed the con roll, so he's stunned. This is a taste of Fig's own medicine. These
Fair.
guys just sent a big old fu
fair.
into the room.
Yeah,
So
it's fair.
I'm gonna have to stick to my guns on that one.
Okay.
I see how it is. Okay, all right.
The Rangers just got hit with this. They're gonna enjoy returning the favor.
Yeah.
Do I still have an action though?
Let's see. So you used your pack rat. You got that.
Packard isn't an action though. That's why I asked.
Yeah, it would be using your ability, and you're like taking something out of your pack and using that. So the fact that you just have exactly what you need, I would say that would be an action for this.
Okay, cool.
But,
That worked for me.
You've assisted Dim quite a bit. She was going to be struggling.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Well done on that.
Thanks, dude.
Dim, what I'm going to award you is you have a free grit to spend on your next turn as the
Cool.
potency of that anti-venom surges through your body. It's kind of like getting hit with an EpiPen. And you just have a free grit that you can spend for whatever purpose you desire.
Do it.
Love that. Thank you.
Okay. That brings us to Jax.
Well, regardless of the noise and everything, he's having the concussion go off and then seeing the spider that he was not aware of. Like, Jax is already kind of like unsettled, but he's definitely not going to go get in trouble with any rangers. So he's going to remain in the vault, and he's going to keep just kind of looking around, seeing if there's anything else that he should be aware of that Luther was up to. Anything else that he can
Okay.
salvage and save.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an intelligence roll.
That is a 12.
Okay. You're not sure exactly in this room what would be of the most value, what would be, like you can't decipher it all at a glance. One thing that would be clear to you as you take it all in is there is according to the note left by Luther and according to what you're seeing, according to what you know of the chemist, you would know enough to say there is a lot of dangerous crap in here. And so, if this is left to the wrong hands, anything in here could result in some form of doom. So you have this overall sense of this is a dangerous room, and Luther tried to leave it for the right person. You wouldn't know exactly what you're looking at, and you wouldn't be able to decipher what's useful or not useful, but you would get the sense that this is all potent stuff. You do see one other thing as you look in the room. You see a note and a small envelope and a note left by Luther. And as you open it up, you see in that note a small handwritten by Luther saying, I hope this lands in the right hands. The best of luck to you. Again, very similar to the other note saying, God help us all. And in it is a plastic key card, an ID card for Luther Van Wyck. And what he details in the note, so it is clear, is that this has unfettered security access to every SteelNet access point in the waste. He is a high-ranking official. He just left you the skeleton key to the SteelNet kingdom, and he wants it to land in the right person. And you now have that key card in your possession.
Amazing.
So this, of everything in there, that was probably the biggest gift that he left, hoping it would land in the right hands. He could just hope against hope that it did.
You just gotta make it out of here alive with that. That's all.
Yeah.
Or destroy
Uh,
it.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Well, my worry, this is a meta thing, is if the building goes down, the vault might shatter and leave a bunch of stuff out. So,
The vault. If the building goes down, the vault is probably the safest room to be in. It's reinforced with
Fair.
steel.
that's fair.
All right,
So,
well,
I do think
that's it for me.
Jack
So
leaves-
Plan B.
All right, Figrin.
Figrin Figrin is stunned and motionless, but not unconscious. And
We
as
will let
he,
the dice gods decide if they show you favor. If you roll a 20, you have an action. Go ahead and give me a d20 roll.
Oh boy.
Fig.
Woo!
Ah,
That's
yes.
amazing.
but
There
I,
you go.
but I pull my stuff together and I
Okay.
shake it
God,
off
that
just a
was
little
good.
bit.
Grenades can't
And I
keep him down.
Pick up
Wow.
that Suchka, and I
Glad
just
I
say to
didn't rush
myself, "Nut bucket," and I shoot this guy right here in the face.
Okay.
Nut bucket.
With the SMG or
You
the
kind of
RPG?
like rise up. No, hold on. Before that roll, you rolled a 20 on that, and I'm counting that as your success. I'm not trying to pull punches here, but you got
Okay,
a 20.
all right.
And
appreciate
you
it.
have a moment of clarity as you kind of like stumble up, and it's blind luck. You still can't see anything, but you manage to get on your feet and you manage to pull the trigger, and you hit this guy in the head. Go ahead and give me a d8 plus a d12 of damage for that gun as you spin the bullet.
7 plus 2, 9 points of damage.
Okay. As
Oh, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. Not plus 2. Just straight. So 7 points of damage.
that's all right. It's enough. As you hit the guy, the shot rings out, and all of them are stunned as they turn and look to like this guy in the middle of their pack as you're just like a drunk stumbling fool that like randomly shot off this thing. And one of the rangers, like, you hit him dead square where he falls and just collapses as the bullet casing clatters to the ground, the only thing piercing the silence. And they all turn and look at you and, like, death in their eyes, raise their bows at you.
Phew.
Okay. So you've pissed them off, and rangers don't miss.
I hope you have your RPG.
So three
Right
weapons
as I
damage.
right as I do is that I hold up the grenade, trying to shield the fact that it's actually only a smoke grenade. I said, "Do your worst. We'll all go to hell together."
They call your bluff. 3 arrows sink into Figrin. Not all of them are extremely deadly. You're still able to pull yourself together, but the shock is enough of the pain that you go unconscious once again. So this exchange is a wonderful cinematic moment. You stumble up, take one of them out. They turn back with the arrows. Thuk, thuk, thuk. As you fall backwards and stumble on the cabinet, Figrin is dying.
Oh.
Are we comfortable burning a grit to heal him, or
He could take a
How-
crit to
how-
absorb the damage.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I mean,
let's do that?
that's
Do
exactly
it.
what
Do it,
grit is
Figrin.
for.
Do it. Grit it out.
Is that kosher, GM?
Yeah, that's what grit's there for.
I suck it up, and it hits the empty magazine in my tactical vest.
You go ahead and give me a D10 plus adrenaline of how much you absorb.
4 plus 4 is 8 points.
Okay,
Nice.
so it does hit the empty magazine, and it does hit, just right in your tactical vest where it's sunk into you, but it's just in the fabric of your clothing. And you have a Boromir moment, looking at the orcs as you just like have 3 arrows stuck in you, but only one actually drew any blood. And you just kind of give them a stare right back as your vision clears and you see the 3 rangers standing in front of you.
How much damage do I actually take?
2.
You have the sense that what has become clear is these guys were waiting for the key to turn in the lock, and their job is to clear the room after that. But you can't imagine that they are alone, and more will be on the way. 4 rounds, and then their squad shows up.
Phew.
Okay, Dim. Oh, if you'll allow me one other detail that I forgot. Fang has introduced a new variable into this by taking the cube out of the canister.
Okay.
What happens here is you feel the weight of the cube double. So it's sitting in your pack, and the cube grows to double its size and begins to weigh you down as it, like, your whole backpack kind of shifts, and you hear the whirring and clacking and clicking and clacking of this thing in its mind as it's active and it's growing. It doubles in its size, and that's the only thing that happens on this turn. But it's become quite heavy. Okay, that brings us to Dim.
Having seen Figrin drop one of these guys and then them all fire at him and him still standing, Dim goes, "Oh, this is gonna be fun!" And I'm gonna run at him. I'm gonna run at him, and when I get there, I'm just swinging the axe like a bat at this guy.
Okay. Let's see if you get a nice chain going.
That's a 12, so I hit him.
That is
Yay.
a 12. That easy strength, the exo arms are hitting.
Yeah. I've never used my axe on this character. Is it a D6 or a D8?
It's a D6 plus your weapons bonus.
Great.
Mhm.
11 points of damage.
Whew.
Hooray!
Okay.
And you do have a 3 grit, so I would add that to the attack so you can attack again.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to, but thank you.
Okay, I was just making sure I didn't.
You got it.
This guy's up.
Hey.
That's only a 10, so no.
Okay.
But
Still
that's
awesome.
okay. Two
Still
down.
awesome.
What the?
Met,
I'm alright.
meta nerd question, just back one turn. So the cube doubled in size,
It did.
but it only doubled in weight.
It doubled in size. It was this big. Now it's this big.
But it's not heavier.
It is heavier. It is
But
now
not-
twice of
but-
what. It is now twice of what it once was.
Oh,
This is-
okay.
Ignore the critical cube
This
law.
is the problem that bothers the statistician and hopefully also an accountant. Also, if it doubled, it's 8 times as heavy.
It doubled in size, which equates to the weight, mass, and density.
Its mass
of that
also
one.
increased.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it increased by 26%, it would double in weight.
It has doubled its size, so it has more than doubled its weight. It is twice.
Understood. I got it. Okay.
Physics hasn't
Yeah.
been ignored today so far.
I would have been up all night, JD. I really would have.
Awesome.
It's all right. So what this looks like for Dim is the only reason you didn't get a backhand swing at the other one was you sunk so deep into the first ranger with that kill that you had difficulty dislodging your axe and its barbed wire from it to where you pulled as hard as you could, but it hesitated and you took just a second where he was able to get out of your way. But you are in their midst and wrecking house. That brings us to Fang.
So Fang feels the cube grow. He takes it out of his bag and he eyes terror, and he goes back in the vault, tries to shove it back in the liquid.
Okay. It's as you do, because it has doubled and you try to lift it up, it doesn't fit inside the canister anymore. It's kind of sitting on top like a pedestal. It's just too large at this point. But you're able to put it back in place and let go of it.
Oh God, this is gonna be bad.
As you step away from it, you begin to see inky black tentacles growing from the box.
Okay, I stab the box.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a D20 roll.
Okay.
Okay, your knife just clicks off of its surface. You cannot penetrate or harm it in any way, and you're able to get your hand away just in time before one of the tentacles grabs your knife in self-defense. And so it does not have your knife, but it attempted to grab it, and the tentacles continue to grow.
Okay. Fang tells Jax, "You get out of this place, and then we should close this vault." As taking the security role, he's like, I don't care about research. We get out. We close this vault now.
I can't. They're not yet. You got to give me some time.
Whoa! No, we don't have time.
Give me a minute. I got to know what's going on.
Okay.
He walks out, has like the vault ready. If Jax doesn't leave in his next turn, he might just close it.
I can't leave. Luther wants me to find something.
Okay. Jax's turn.
Okay. Yeah, I want to do just a little bit more digging to see what else Luther is left behind, and additionally, like, I gotta think of some way of, disarm. I can't just leave this here because the chemist will find a way in, even if we close the door.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a D20 roll.
That's 16
Okay.
intelligence.
Okay, so what you find is a kinetic web. It's an apparatus that you can affix to your skin. It's a black cable network worn against the skin, kind of like if the Venom symbiote didn't move around, it was just kind of that black webbing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of this black webbing that you apply. If you take damage, you gain a grit for your next turn every time that you take damage. So this is the Black Panther suit. As you kind of take a hit, it delivers back a grit on your next turn. As you continue to search around and you find that it's kind of like, a great, amazing find, a valuable find, but not exactly what you're looking for. And you as you search around and look around all of the different options in the room, you see basically a control panel with different buttons and options sitting there. And you see different options on the control panel. If you will indulge me and give me 1 second, I'm going to pull the think deck because you have me thinking on my feet here. So 1 second.
It's all good. I'll have plenty of time. I mean, Fang is going to close me in this vault and then.
Okay.
I don't want the cube out. I don't want the cube out.
Okay.
I made a mistake.
As you look at the different options, you survey the options that are on control panel, and you see a slot that you can basically insert the key card that Luther gave you, providing access to controls. You see an option for accessing the archive. You see an option for trying to think of what would be some interesting choices here. Okay, I'll give you two. We'll keep it binary. You see an option for accessing the archive, and with the unfettered access of Luther Van Wyck's permissions. You also see an option to scrub the data and destroy the vault. So Luther has basically left the keys to the kingdom in your hand. Basically, do you choose to access the archive trying to get as much data as possible and, learn the secrets of SteelNet? Or do you scrub the existence of this place and its secrets from the map? And that is the choice that he's left you and given you access to with the key card.
If it wasn't for that archive option, he'd probably scrub it, but Jax can't do it. He can't destroy the information without salvaging it somehow for himself. So he's gonna access the archive. And
Okay. As you do, a console, kind of like a screen, comes out from the control panel with the buttons, and a monitor begins to display options. You are flooded with options. It's showing locations of different projects. It lists the Line Wall, the Banshee, the Riot Command, Sloan Tech, the Bunker Plate, the Tin Man. I mean, it's just like listing like all of SteelNet's technologies. And you also see Project, I believe it was Nemesis Pest. And you know this to be like data on the roaches of Kilo Sector and that have been plaguing the waste as well. So you are sifting through all this information. It's any information you want about SteelNet is there. As you glance over your shoulder, the cube continues to grow and the tentacles also continue to grow, and that strange clacking and whirring of the machine continues. What do you do?
Yep, I'm staying. I'm sorry.
Okay. So be thinking about what kind of information Jax would be most interested in, what you would want to achieve. Essentially, you as a player, you have access to any SteelNet secret you would desire. You can know anything. The knowledge is the power here. You are in the treasure hoard of the dragon in fantasy settings, but it is information. And so you can just pick up any bit of gold that you desire. Every round that you stay in there, you are gifted the information that you can take with you afterwards. But again, you're running out of time.
Yeah.
That brings us to Figrin.
Okay. Figrin is pissed. He is incensed. He is beside himself. He pulls out his bone dagger, being as intimidating as possible, and he takes it and rakes it across the 3 arrows and snaps off the shafts right there. And he says, I am gonna murder every one of you oxygen thieves right now. And then he fixes a gaze on this one over here, over Dim's shoulder, and he takes off at a full run, hops off of here, and does a death from above, double flying side kick on that guy's head with his well-oiled boot.
All right. Give me that strength roll. Yep. Yes, sir. Cracking some skulls.
That's basic +4. Give me 6 points of damage.
The ranger slumps back up against as you crack. Your boot presses his head into the wall, and you just hear a crack as something breaks, and his body slumps to the floor as you kind of tumble to the ground after your kick.
That's my turn.
Told you this was going to be fun.
The reinforcements are surely hot on the heels of this initial squad. The cube in this room, the tentacles grow larger, and as it kind of like sees Jax, and as you can feel an intelligence worming its way into each of your minds, essentially it like reads the mind of Jax. It sees the option to destroy the lab, and you just hear a whisper that says danger. You see a portal open. The cube drops through the portal that it creates underneath itself and appears back in this other room by the doorway as the tentacles continue to grow, kind of coming to life and grasping and reaching.
Great.
Just about to cover as the thing grows once again and starts to like consume the doorway. It's becoming dangerous to move through the door because of the tentacles present.
That's awesome.
The one ranger that is standing, it retreats back out into the corridor and shoots an arrow as he leaves at Dim. It hits, of course, as rangers don't miss. You take 3 damage as he's kind of retreating to a better position outside.
Sticks in my shield, breaks a chunk of my shield off.
Okay.
He tears my poster of the polar bear with the drinks that he's drinking, and I'm incensed. that he's wrecked my flag.
All right,
Bastard.
Dim.
Bigrin
You
sees
see
the
the
atrocity
poster
and
rip.
says, "Don't worry, darling. We're gonna get that sack of shiitake mushrooms. I tell you."
Your
Like
gas
right
masks
now.
go down around, and we're back to Dim.
Yeah, I'm just beelining for this dude. That was my new poster.
Oh.
Great.
How much adrenaline do you have?
4. That's 4. I
Became
have
personal.
I have 7 adrenaline.
So you have a 5. I'm just doing the math. A 5 plus 7. Nah, that's fine.
No, she'd have to roll a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It became personal.
Not. Yeah, I let my emotions get involved and I got
Yep.
clouded. It's harder to
You're-
hit them.
Your axe is stuck in the wall, and you have the choice of either leaving it in its place, or
No.
if you
I'll
hold
take
on
the
to
other
it,
one.
he's gonna have an ultimate damage against you because you are vulnerable with your like side exposed and you can't protect yourself.
I'll take the ultimate.
Okay.
I'm not leaving my axe.
Fang, you just saw the cube open a portal to deliver itself outside of the vault. I need you to make a charisma roll. If you fail, you take an additional 3 adrenaline.
So that's 11. No, wait, 10.
Okay,
So
this
it's
thing is
pretty
seriously freaking you out.
Yep.
You have no idea what you uncorked, but it is weird, and it seems to be having an agenda of its own.
So
What do you do?
I have to have a discussion with Kane, like player to player.
Mhm.
Are you okay with Fang dragging Jax out of the room and slamming the self-destruct?
Oh, well, I mean, like, you gotta do what you gotta do, but Jax, like, you just gotta, he's doing his thing. He's come this far.
He's doing his thing.
Well, in my head, this has been the conflict of Fang and Jax from like all of the play-by-post we've had. Of like Fang is like, we need to not the mission. So
This is the
I am
mission.
gonna
This
drag-
is the mission. I have found.
No.
We have found the things. You have to leave me here. Just go help the others.
As a GM, I'm going to say that you cannot forcibly drag
Okay.
him out. You can plead with him, but it is ultimately his choice of if he stays or if he goes. So you can attempt to coerce him, but Fang wouldn't be able to drag him if Jax didn't
Okay,
choose to do
that's
that.
fair. I just wanted
Yeah.
Just
to.
I
so-
will come
The boy
behind.
is motivated.
I will catch up. Just help the others. I need more time. I need more time.
My other, it might not be forcibly dragged, but would I'm trying not to be like super PvP. I'm really trying.
Yeah, it's all right.
Can I hit the computer and make it do the self-destruct?
He has the key card that would
Okay.
enable that.
That's fair.
So it's Jax has the key, and
Okay.
it's gonna be his choice. I would say this: I love the RP that's happening.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I just
that's
can't.
fair.
I can't take away Jax's agency in this.
Oh, I
but
understand.
If you want to do a charisma roll and you succeed, you would grant Jax a grit to use at a later time. So basically, you could plead with him and let him know how important this is and like the situation's really serious. If you are successful in your plea, Jax is gonna have a fire under his butt for when the time comes to move. So that would be how I would adjudicate that.
Is that good with you, Kane?
Yeah, that's worked for me. I also love the RP that's going. I can see the conflict that's happening. You know, but yeah, it's
Well,
like
it's been happening the entire story. So Fang will plead. So I'm going to roll +2 charisma. So no, I can't.
Jax is too engrossed in his work. He sees the knowledge and the duty to the waste that he feels, and it's just like nothing's getting in.
Just
Okay.
And
Fang.
I would only add in meta player to player, and one who again loves what's going on. I would say yes and here. And see where the story goes, because I already it's way off the rails, and I think we should follow it.
yeah.
So
Fang, just listen to me. You've done your job. You've got us here. Like, I need to do this. Like, this is what I've been. I was born to do this. I found this. I have to save this.
So I have decided how I will resolve this as a person. I'm gonna roll a skull die. On the skull, Fang decides it's Jax's funeral, and he leaves. Is that okay?
That's yeah.
We think that's fair?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So Fang stays. He is going to chuck. He's not going to risk the knife. He likes the knife too much, but he's just going to fling a scrap flail at the cube, just trying to do something, trying to scare it a tiny bit, do whatever he can. So I'll just
Say that last bit one more time.
He's going to fling the scrap flail he has
Okay.
at the cube, just trying to get to scare it a tiny bit or do something.
The cube, basically, before the scrap flail's flying through the air, before it reaches the cube, the tentacles snap into motion, grab the scrap flail, like feel it out, and tear it apart into about 4 different pieces. And like the pieces like clatter to the floor, and the tentacles continue to reach out. This thing is not messing around. So you're getting the sense that you've awakened a greatly powerful entity, whatever this may be.
The Eldritch mainframe.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Well, the dice decided I'm not abandoning Jax, so
Okay.
I stay terrified.
I think with all of the fretting, you take an additional adrenaline because you're just like feeling so cold back and forth of like, do I stay or do I go? Like, I mean, even you as a player is conflicted, let alone your character. So you take additional adrenaline as it's like, we have got to go now.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay.
Isn't rule number 1 of RPGs always split the party? I think we're doing well.
Yeah.
Yep. You guys are playing to your roles, and I'm taking it.
Both physically and morally.
Okay.
Good.
Jax, you stand in front of all the knowledge that the waste has to offer.
Yep. The first and most pressing piece of information that Jax wants to find out is he wants to, navigate to initiative mainframe. He wants to gain the knowledge of the whatever Luther had on the mainframe.
Okay.
And I'm okay if he just like goes ... like what?
I'm trying that you really have me on my GM toes here. So let me take a quick pause. If I had a drink of something, I would take a sip.
Take your time.
Yeah, you're good.
This whole scenario is riveting, so we'll wait.
As you search for the information on the mainframe, the computer itself is not even what delivers the information. The thing itself senses your intention and grants you a vision. And it is a blurry, like, speed through time. You see, like, time lapses of, like, civilizations rising, pyramids, like, rising and crumbling. You see, like, all this stuff, and you realize that this has all happened at this location of the ruin. You basically see the ruin from the beginning of time to now, at this very moment, and you continue to, like, see, like, time pass on. And it is, like, you are being shown the secrets of the universe. And at the whole space of this like vision zooms in and stops still, and throughout the entire blurry motion, this thing has always been there. And you are granted this vision of like, this is a thing beyond time, beyond physics, beyond, it wasn't created, it just existed. And you sense an intelligence calling out to Jax and saying like, I have so much more to show you. And essentially like beckoning and saying like, oh, you know, an open mind, finally, like I have so much to teach you. And you sense this like all in your vision, as it's kind of like your mind has been open to this thing's history, which is endless.
So, with that vision afterwards, could Jax roll for his intelligence to make a connection with the mainframe? Because I think Jax is starting to realize he's staring at this computer, but as the mainframe is like talking to him, he's realizing, yes, the computer has all the information, but so does this thing. It has the same information, but more. I think that's starting to formulate in Jax's mind, or at least that's what he thinks. You know, that's what he's kind of like just he believes that that's the reality of it. Whether that's true or not doesn't matter to Jax. Like, because I think he's open. He's open to the mainframe.
Yes. I am loving the RP so much, and I know what's going to happen, but I want to perhaps hide some information. So your intelligence roll will have a result, but there's going to be something behind the curtain. Okay. And so if you'll allow me that indulgence as a GM,
absolutely. So
go ahead and give me that intelligence roll, and it'll inform me as the story progresses here.
That's a 17.
Okay. As you like reach out and you admire the knowledge of this thing, you in the midst of your vision, you even see what calamity devastated the ruin, and you see like it zoom in on a steel net facility that like exploded and caused the smog to fill the city, like making the population go crazy. The people were fleeing. The panic was when the world fell. You see what caused the ruin, and you see that SteelNet was behind the insanity that has gripped the Howlers. And as you kind of connect with it, and you form an admirable bond with it. And Fang, what you see in this moment is Jax in a trance, as he's just like standing there like rigid at the computer. But then as you look back at the cube, at the mainframe, you see it slow down, the tentacles retreat, disappear, and it returns once again to its normal handheld size as a kind of Rubik's Cube size. You see it go still and inert, and Jax, you hear a beckoning and call and say, "Come, let us learn together."
Okay, and he's just gonna go up and claim it.
Okay. As you claim it, there's still like, it's almost like in Lord of the Rings when they touch the Palantir, that there's just like this flash of like insanity. Go ahead and make a madness roll as you claim the mainframe. Yes.
Nice.
Freaking perfect. You get a permanent stat bump to a stat of your choice.
What
that
a good
what that
nat
is.
20.
Oh
Wow.
man, that's definitely going to be intelligence.
Yeah.
Smart. The boy's wicked smart.
That makes sense.
Technically speaking, I'm not going to roll it back, but technically speaking, as written, you should have like, that only comes after you like fail a madness roll, but the moment's too perfect. Like you, as a human being, have your mind opened and you gain
Really
like an
good.
inherent new quality to yourself as you claim this mysterious thing. Fantastic.
Well done.
Wow.
Love it.
Beautiful.
That's amazing.
This is
So good.
We will
Okay.
do this together.
So, Fang, you just watch Jax just walk in a slow, easy trance. Jax, your adrenaline reduces to 0 as
Woo!
you have come into a new, serene, calm place. Like, you just, like, everything is right with the world. You sense your destiny ahead of you. You just, like, are unaware of the calamity surrounding you. And as you breathe deep in your gas mask. All is well.
We will be fine. We will kill.
And
Arn.
after a fantastic and very long turn, that brings us to Figrin.
Sorry.
Mechanical question.
It's okay. No,
No, that was worth the price of admission right there.
Yeah.
Mechanical question for the GM.
yeah.
Rangers never miss.
Yes.
So that means that the smoke grenade that I have, other than visual obscurement, doesn't affect the roll the non-roll that will happen for
If they can't see
targeting.
you, they can miss. So like if they have a clear thing, but if it's like they're just shooting blind, it would obscure their ability to shoot.
Okay, they can never
Yeah.
miss with their bows.
Correct. Yeah, like if they have a shot that is like in the narrative, it makes sense that they can see it and take it within their skill set. They're not gonna miss.
Understood.
That could also be guns as well, but it's just like within their skill set. But they can't like just guess and never miss. They're not.
So
they're
far,
not
what
superheroes.
so far what we've seen is these guys are armed with these bows, though.
That has been typical. Yes.
Okay.
These bozo.
Figrin will run down here next to Dim, and as he goes, he sparks the blowtorch that he has, and he swipes out and burns the bowstring, cuts through anything. So I'm going to just snap his bowstring with flame
Okay.
so that it goes flying.
Fantastic. Yeah, you cut through his bow. The moment he's pulling back, kind of like almost like just point blank shot to just sink an arrow into Dim as she's kind of like trying to get the axe out of the wall. You come and just swipe through, the bowstring cuts, and the arrow just kind of like limply falls out of its place in its notch. And he kind of like looks at you with eyes of terror. He's disarmed.
Amazing.
Okay. All right. The the mainframe has gone silent, accepting its new prey, its new protege. It remains to be
Envoy.
seen.
Let's call it envoy.
Ingenue?
Chauffeur.
You Fang, you look in and you see like the glass continuing to crack on these different capsules. And you get a sense that whatever else is contained may not continue. And you take this all in. The ranger would retreat back to the stairwell, like trying to like basically get back to his reinforcements as he like doesn't have his weapon. The reinforcements are coming soon. The bodies of the rangers are strewn about the apartment here. And what Dim and Figrin would notice is alongside the normal human-sized steps rising up the staircase, you would hear larger thuds that would indicate something of a larger heft is accompanying them and moving as fast as it possibly can to intercept you. And that brings us back to Dim.
I think one of those big guys is coming.
I hate those bum monkeys.
I am going to dislodge the axe that saved me from that fire all those years ago from the wall. And what do you think, Fig? We going down or we gotta go back?
Part of me says take the fight to them.
Yeah, but I'd like to do it with all of us, you know?
I agree. We better fall back.
Alright,
To be clear on options here,
yeah.
there are definitely reinforcements coming from below. The stairwell does continue up to the roof, and you did see some sort of traversal system on the roof. So, just wanting that to be clear,
Oh,
you have the option of up, and if you do want to fight in the stairwell going down, you do have the option. It could be tricky.
yeah.
but we are split. Like we would have to post
Yeah.
up here to get the guys to.
I want to regroup before we go.
Yeah,
Or they're not going to know
absolutely.
where we went.
Yep. I
Can
just
we
wanted you
just
to be
holler
aware
at
that
them?
it's not just.
Yeah,
down
thank
is
you,
also
because
up.
I totally forgot that for some reason I was thinking we were on the top floor.
You're close to the top, but not quite.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to fall back too far, but I do want to be at the door in case more chuckle fucks come through the doorway.
You got it. They are coming in 2 rounds, but not yet.
That's it.
Okay. Do you want to do a recovery? Just reminding you that that's an option since there's
I
not as much
can't-
happening.
I don't think I can recover my shield though, can I? That doesn't really work.
It's true, but you could reduce your adrenaline if you so desired.
Oh, yeah. That's not a bad idea. I'll do a
Okay.
recovery. So 16.
All right, you get to reduce your adrenaline, con +1. So that's what you
Okay.
take away from your adrenaline.
All right, cool. Down to 4.
Okay. Thing?
Fang slams the vault shut, scrambles the thing. At this point, he doesn't know what's going on at this point. But he's at the point of either Jax will destroy the world or make a better one. So he's decided, I'm not going to fiddle with that anymore. And he's just going to get to Dim and just go,
Yeah.
Dim, don't even try to understand what just happened. I don't even know.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That is my turn.
Awesome. Jax?
Okay, I'm just gonna nonchalantly like walk out of the room and be like, "Are we going up?"
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good idea. Yeah.
All right, shall we?
All right, Figrin, I got him.
Figrin comes back in and he loots these fuckers. He picks up a bow and as many arrows as he can carry,
Good idea.
and anything else good they got.
Okay. We'll say you pick up a few arrows off of each of them, so we'll say you got 6 arrows for your bow.
Okay. And
Okay.
then he says, Wastelanders, we are leaving to the rooftop.
Okay.
To the rooftop. As you slam through the door of the stairwell and begin your climb, you are continually met with the continual hitting, at like the metal steps of those who are in pursuit of you. You've put some distance between them, but they are coming still. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You climb the stairs. You bust out into the outside, the smog kind of curling around the door as you like sling it open. You're above the thickest and deepest parts of it. Inexplicably, you see a flock of birds flying above, which is unusual as most life avoids the room. A small poetic moment before you take in the horror that is around you. As you have climbed, you've stayed a pace of your pursuers, so they still have 2 rounds until they're going to be climbing up through the stairs. You look around and you see what has been assembled is a gondola system. Essentially, there is a single-person gondola going between rooftop to rooftop, which is symbolized by these boxes. The gondolas take 1 round to go from point A to point B, and they can carry 1 person. There's no rule for that, it just happens. But again, you're limited by how many people it can take. You see 2 options as you survey the landscape, looking down in the smog. You see that the Rangers have stowed away what appears to be a old but functioning jump jet. A jet of some kind, a plane. You could fumble your way through piloting it. I wouldn't say it would be complete. Like I want to have fun with this, where it is an option to you. But again, like being able to be an expert pilot would probably be out of any of your abilities. But being able to like get it in the air and take off and go away, that would be within your realm. The other option that you see is that the Rangers have parked several vehicles as kind of like their garage kind of base for vehicle down at the base of the building. And if you were to work your way down to this building and down the building, you would be able to make it to the parking garage and most likely hijack one of the vehicles. The Rangers are kind of all around this area throughout the room, so you're going to kind of run into them no matter where you go, but your options for escape lay there before you. In addition to this, the final thing you hear is the brief roar of a small engine as Kruger on Overwatch has spotted you. I don't have a perfect token, so this is going to be Kruger.
Unacceptable.
I'm going to roll a D6 to kind of see, or actually D4 to see, help me know what location Kruger's coming from. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Kruger is coming from, this would make sense, as the kind of ranger base where they have the garage and stuff. Kruger was posted there, and you hear the brief roar of an engine. You are at the highest point, so Kruger's not able to shoot down on top of you. But you hear that brief roar as Kruger starts to work their way into position, and the kind of, you see them get behind, like land and get behind some cover on the far building, and the smoke of the area is catching the red targeting laser of their sniper rifle as they try to get a shot. What do you do?
Is there any cover up here?
Great question. Let me roll for it. It's actually quite sparse. There's very little cover. If you stay away from that edge, then it would be difficult for Kruger to take a shot because, like, if they're shooting up, so you could just get out of sight. But as far as like a wall or things to hide, it's actually quite sparse up there on the roof, quite free.
You said that the gondolas are one person and one turn in transit, correct?
That is correct.
Does that jump jet, are we talking like Harrier, or are we talking like Osprey? Like how many, what's the capacity of it? Can we get everybody in it?
Yeah, you could definitely all fit in it.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be, trying to think of an appropriate equivalent. The cargo area for it would be like a box truck that, like for moving or something like that, like a small box truck would be like, you would be able to have like enough cargo area where it's cramped and you got stuff in there, and then there would be the pilot seat up ahead. Very specific reference, but if you've ever seen Pitch Black and the landing craft they have there, when they're inside of it, that's what I'm imagining this craft to be like. It's about that size, so it's definitely room inside, but a ton. What do you do?
So Fang, this is not my turn, but if we want to strategize, I think Jax goes down to the plane first, then we send someone, and then since me and
I'm last.
Okay, deal. I was thinking we would do the two ranged fighters last, so we could actually try to take out Kruger, but that's fair. So, alright. Dim's turn, I believe.
Dim's waiting.
If you want to change up your initiative with a plan, I'd be happy to allow that.
Yeah, I for sure want to be the last one up here.
Okay. I'll go ahead and put you last in the order.
Okay.
Fang sounds like he has what he wants to do, and then so we'll do Fang, Jax, Figure, and Dim. Does that sound good with you guys?
Sure.
Okay. Alright, so that means Fang's up.
So, I'm just doing the math. I can't throw my knife across and even hope to hit the dude, right?
If you get a 20, there would be a miracle that happens,
Okay.
which has not been unheard of in this particular session. But
No, but it
that
has
would
to
be
be
the only
natural
chance
for
you
me.
have.
I couldn't get up
Yeah.
to it with grit or anything. Okay.
exactly.
So Fang is gonna stitch himself up a bit with his doctor's tools
Okay.
So that is essentially a recovery, but with int.
Sounds good.
So
Yes,
I
sir.
will lose 3 adrenaline and gain 3 hit points. And that is my turn.
Okay. Jax?
For me, I think Jax is slowly coming off the high of connecting with the mainframe a little bit. Eventually, he kind of like snaps out of it, and he's like, "We're on the roof, I guess. Where are we going?
Get to the plane.
At the plane? Okay.
Can
Yes.
any of you fly a plane?
Sure.
Can't be that hard.
Oh, sure.
Sure. I guess. And with that is like, you want me to just start going?
Yes.
Yeah, you're up, Jax.
All right. He's just gonna hop in and start his way across.
Okay. As you kind of step in, it's a small containment, and you're not in like a fully enclosed thing. It's kind of like just a platform hanging from this, and the buildings themselves are swaying. So I need you to go ahead and make a hard charisma roll as you kind of look down and just see the drop before you. You take an additional 2 adrenaline as it's just like this thing is like swaying back and forth. All the buildings are moving. There's enemies hot on your heels as you're just a little bit closer to freaking out. You engage the lever and the gondola takes you to the other roof as this is kind of all simultaneously happening, but by the time of the end of this round you would be reaching the other roof.
Okay. Which unfortunately means it's on this side, and I have to send it back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I didn't
Yep.
think through the math well as a GM here, forgive me. We can work with it.
Please
It's
don't
fine.
strand us up here.
I'm not trying to screw with you guys too much. I'm just trying to put a little pressure on. Okay, that brings us to Figrin.
Did Kruger use the jetpack to get to the top of
That is
Yep.
correct.
that building? That on right
That is correct.
now.
Your mic's a little bit
Fuel
delayed.
ability.
All right, you're gonna say that again.
I beg your pardon. I said, would we know in any way whether or not that is a limited fuel supply to that jetpack?
Given the use of it so far, you would be surprised that he would just run out completely. Whatever's powering it, he seems confident to be able to keep taking flight.
Fang saw it and it looked like SteelNet.
Okay, understood. Figrin is gonna drop prone and ranger crawl out here to the edge and roll over on his back and take a recovery roll.
Sounds good. Whatever you're setting up here, I'm here for it. I like it.
Yeah, but not today.
Hmm.
I only
Okay.
rolled a 4.
He's trying to take deep breaths and he just can't slow down. Okay. That brings us to Dim.
But I'm remaining prone and trying to and kind of hiding right underneath the edge because when Kruger lands, I want to be in a position of advantage. Is my hope.
Okay. Sounds good.
Is the elevator is the only thing my head is coming up with. That's not the right
Gondola?
word.
Gondola.
Thank you. Is the gondola already on its way back, or do I need to go over and recall it?
It needs to take one turn to go back, and I'm trying to just stay consistent with this so it doesn't get screwy. So Jax used it to get down. That would be happening simultaneously. He'll be able to he'll send it back in the next round, but you wouldn't
So
be
it's
able
like a
to get
full
it back.
round.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
Got
I
it.
think round is going to be more clear. So it's going to take
Okay.
a round for that thing to traverse, so you'll be able
Okay.
to call it back. Yeah.
Cool. Got it. I just wanted to be useful, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post up on this side of the stairwell up.
Okay.
Because I know guys are coming up, and I want to be able to take a crack when they bust through the door.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Yes.
One thing that I will make clear as an option that would be death-defying but possible, if you needed to go faster, these would function as zip lines with the appropriate device hung over them and you holding on for the ride. So I'm just going to throw that out there as
Okay.
like, I'm not trying to like bait you as a GM of like, this is what you have to do, but
I like it though.
it's an option.
It
Yeah,
helps to have
I'm,
two crowbars.
I'm listening.
Yes, it does. A crowbar would be perfect.
Or
Okay.
a big axe.
You hear the thud of the Kim Howler rising, a ghastly howl coming out of it. It's contained inside the helmet, but echoing through the stairwell. Rangers in tow as well. Your
Yeah.
gas mask filters continue to fill. And Kruger, while standing watch, watching the occurrence, you hear the sound of a and above you, as you look up into the sky, you see that he has shot a big red flare that's like gone off above your building. And you hear kind of like cries of alarm where basically he's hit the siren, and all of the rangers in the area are tuned into your position, and they're going to begin moving into place. Another group of rangers will be ascending this building and will be arriving in 4 rounds as they begin to make their way up. You're on borrowed time as far as rangers coming to intercept. More and more will keep coming as Kruger has sounded the alarm. Kruger has not had a compelling reason to leave their position with a sniper rifle onto your roof, so they haven't quite jumped up there yet, but they are still surveying to find a good shot. And I'm going to go ahead and roll for Kruger's AI to kind of see, would they stay or would they try to position themselves in another place? Looks like they're going to stay. They're going to stay put, see if they can catch one of you guys being dumb. Survey the situation.
Well. I
Alright.
mean,
Can I go ahead and just say that you guys, this thing is back in transit to reach you, and at the end of the round, it will be back and ready for use. So
Sure.
that's in transit. Nobody has to worry about remembering that. It's on its way, and someone else will be able to use it next time. And here we go. That brings us to Fang.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Does this one, is this a separate roof? Or is it meant to
So-
be connected here?
Excellent question. I put it up on there as an option. And
Okay.
that if you go down the building again, you would be able to access another gondola.
That's good.
But that was me throwing some stuff together, so it would be a bit below you. So at this point, it's a bit more window dressing than it is a
Okay,
viable
cool.
option.
Gotcha.
Just jump down to it.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You could climb down. We'll say there's some
Yeah.
scaffolding or something if you really want.
well, I actually do know what I'm doing. I was just curious.
Go for it.
So Fang is going to get on the gondola
Okay. Yes.
and go down and just have his knife at the ready, be ready to dodge,
Love it.
and see what. Yeah, yeah. So that's Fang's thing.
Warmest regards.
Yeah. Well, I guess
In
my one
transit.
question is, essentially like, because it takes a round to go down.
Yeah.
Can I hold my action to when I can throw my knife?
Yeah, let's see here. You're going on a slow gondola. They would see you coming. So, but let's say that you're able to close the distance enough where, yeah, you can go ahead and take a crack at it with your knife. Go for it.
Cool.
I
It's a
kind of
hard-
say it out loud to think about it.
Yeah, you're fine. It is a hard thing to throw because it's a bigger knife.
Okay.
So I have to roll a 17 on the die.
Yo-ho! Called it.
Okay.
Nice.
I have
Okay.
plus 6 to this roll. So 7.
All right. Okay.
And then I recall it with the rope I have tied to it.
Okay. So it sinks into Kruger. Falls out as you catch it just before they're able to get behind a wall, and then you pull out the knife, ripping it out once again.
Actually, can I burn a grit
Right.
to do more?
I was gonna say I would be in favor of you burning a grit.
I will burn a
Sorry.
grit. Adding 3. So that's 11. So total 18.
You have sunk into Kruger's neck and pulled out the arterial vein, and you see red spray as you retrieve your knife. It is soaked in Kruger's blood, and no sound comes from the limp body as your gondola creaks.
Good job, Fang.
As you kind of like come
Good
to a
job.
parking stop, and you see the pool of blood as you have eliminated Kruger from the board. Well done.
Nice. Very nice.
That was
Yeah.
great.
Awesome. You called it.
Oh yeah. Rex.
Jax is he has no idea what's going on. It's a whole building away. He's going to continue to the other side and just begin his descent to the airplane.
Yeah.
As you move, you are caught once again with a vision from the mainframe. And in this vision, all that you see is you kind of have this disembodied experience of looking on yourself traveling. But you get the sense that more than just your eyes are seeing this vision. And then you come back to yourself.
Okay. Do I need
All
to
right.
roll charisma
You
again for
traverse the
crossing
rooftop. Nope. You
Okay.
that vision goes out. All of you would see that vision. So it's basically like everybody just sees this picture of Jax just like moving slowly in the gondola down to the plane. You make your way down. You would kind of come to the end of your turn as you would make your way across the whole rooftop. That's far. Go down the gondola. So that would be
Yep.
all you could accomplish action wise. But you
Yep.
have reached the rooftop for the jet. Okay, Bigrin.
Defer action for Dim.
Okay. All right, Dim.
Bigrin, are you coming?
That all depends. I'm following you.
Alright, well, this didn't go how I thought it was gonna go. So, I don't like that Jax is isolated, so.
He's
Bigrin
isolated
can-
with a jetpack, though.
Oh, I am, aren't I?
Jax has a jetpack?
No, Fang does.
No,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
worried about
Oh,
Jax.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You're
sorry,
over
sorry.
there with Fang. Yeah. So Jax is way off on his own, and I'm like starting to not be able to see him. So I'm going. I'm gonna go try to catch up with Jax.
I got good friends.
Okay.
I know that.
You move down using all your movement in the gondola. You're able to arrive at the other roof for the end
Great.
of your turn.
Perfect. I'll send
Bigrin?
it back.
I will recover. Still not. It was a long haul up here. I'm tired, and I'm just frustrated with the day. For movement. Oh, I can't because I tried to recover. Never mind. I'm just gonna sit right here. We're good.
Okay, you can move. It's an action and movement. I feel like you would be able to move as well if you desire.
How zippy does that zip line look?
All right, so I'm trying to do this. So let me think of how to mechanically do this. I don't want you to just die if you fail a roll, but
Please.
narratively speaking, if you fell off a zip line at the top of a relatively tall building, that would be death. So I think what it would look like is I would require. Okay, strength makes sense to me. Do we all agree here? Strength makes sense
we do.
to hold on.
We do.
Yeah.
You make a strength roll. You make that strength roll. You zip down normal movement. It's all's cake. If you fail the strength roll, whatever you're using to hold on to the zip line falls out of your hands, but you're able to grab with one hand onto the wire, and you're basically holding on by a hand. And it's basically so remind me, Kane, it's like a death timer where you have to like
hand
get back
finger
up.
death.
Yeah, so if you're hanging on by a finger, it's you can't do anything. Someone has to come to you and successfully do a strength or dex, and then you're dying at the end of the timer. You do fall. I would say it's hanging by a finger, and someone has to ride the gondola and come and get you.
Let's do that. So if you fail the strength roll, then you would be like hanging on until someone can rescue you. So that is how we will run the zip line.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, I will
Do it.
take this. I would take this pesky thumper and toss it across the line. Yell Geronimo, and slide for life.
Are you going after Fang or are you going after Dim?
I'm going in Fang's direction.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Dim's favorite, split the party.
Splitting the party.
I can't get to you if you fail. That's the only thing. But you
I haven't
do
done
you.
that. I'm fine. Like we're good.
No, well, in meta, what I'm
right.
hoping that we can do is get down there and get that car. And
It's a great
get
idea.
it with you.
We'll
Roll
meet
high.
up later.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a rendezvous point, I'm sure.
A 50.
All right. Figrin held his action, is that right? So now it's at my turn?
Well, I thought
I beg your
Figrin was going
pardon?
to zip line.
I zip lined down on a 15 plus 2 mod 17.
Great.
Sweet.
Dope.
Fantastic.
Thank you for not falling.
You take... I'm going to also say if you choose the zipline option, you take adrenaline. You take 4 adrenaline as you go down. What?
There.
If anybody gets to 10 or more adrenaline, please let me know. That's kind of a threshold where...
I am at 8.
Okay, so if anybody 10 or over, you're just going to start making a lot of madness checks. So just keep that in mind. You want to keep it below 10. Okay. That's awesome. I don't want to miss the moment of like, he just zip-lined across, and that's dope. And the party has been split,
Pretty
and the reinforcements arrive.
Yeah.
First out the door, using this creature as a shield, is the Kim Howler. You see the Kim Howler holding something hefty in its arm, a large metal cylinder, matching its forearm as it goes, barrels sticking out from the end of it, and it is going to instinctually choose a target. 1 through 3, it's going to go toward Dim, and 4 through 6, it is going toward Fang and Figrin. So it spots, it just catches Figrin as he finishes his zip line, and so that's kind of what catches its attention. And it comes to the edge of the roof, fearless, mindless, and unleashes a Belcher minigun as it fires. I'm going to toss out a 1 if a 1 gets used. I don't want a 1 shot. This is 2 to 4 shots that it is firing. 2 shots. Here we go. Okay, and I'm going to roll for its stats right now because I did not determine this. So this D6 is its bonus. So it gets +2 on the roll, and 12 is not enough to hit. So a couple of bullets hit as you kind of duck behind some cinder block at the last moment. This thing howling in rage, trying to eliminate its target. Behind it comes more Rangers. Another squad of Rangers arrives. They come pouring out, their bows at the ready, looking for targets. They see, I'm going to roll again to see which, do they follow the Chem Howler? Do they scan for more targets? Are they kind of all after one? And it appears that they have all commanded the attention, where they are starting to now fire their arrows. At the distance, ordinarily Rangers don't miss, but at the distance and the cover you've been able to achieve, I am going to have these guys go ahead and roll. They get +3 on their rolls. 2 are going to take a shot at Figrin, and 2 are going to take a shot at Fang. So these are for Figrin. +3, so 2 hits.
Oh.
So 10 damage on Figrin as those arrows sink in. These are for Fang. 1 hit on Fang. Yes, 1 hit on Fang. And this is the damage for Fang. 5 damage on Fang. As those arrows.
Fang has Kevlar, so I only take 2.
Nice.
Okay. Awesome.
Good.
And they like are convinced that all the threat. I mean, the dice have spoken. They're like the whole threat is moving down and toward Fang and Figrin. Now, one other piece that happens is Jax sees a figure on the roof. A familiar figure, a small, wiry frame, a female,
Oh,
and
no.
standing there, calmly looking at Jax, and you just hear a soft, feminine voice call out and say, "I would really like those boots back."
I don't have
That
your-
brings. I'd really like my boots back. Is the response?
Tell her to rescue my ass.
Okay. I can't remember. I think I need to take that down 1. More reinforcements are coming on that roof.
We're good.
Great.
And back to Fang.
If I give, I have doctor's tools.
Yes.
Giving Figrin health will bring him up, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I will use doctor's tools.
Okay.
Nice.
That is a 14, so that does not work.
Not quite.
Do we want to burn a grit here?
Grit this. Yes,
Okay.
bring him back up.
Yep.
Thank you.
Burn the grit. He's up for 3 HP.
Good.
And
Thank you
then
very much.
can I put the jetpack on and then carry, I doubt this, Figrin across to here. I doubt it. That's a hard ass.
Yeah, so you already attempted to do the healing. I think with your turn, you'd be able to put the jetpack on, but not accomplish anything else. So you could basically pull it off of Kruger's body, get ready to go, but that would be it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to give you some cover. So
Okay.
I hope you know
thanks
how to
for
use
the
that
save,
thing.
by the way. That was clutch.
I missed. How did Figrin get back up? I missed
With
Medical.
doctor's tools. So
Nice.
I did stitching or something.
it. Dope. Oh, you
I
did
also
great.
give him.
Cool.
I also give Figrin a cigarette, which reduces his adrenaline by 1d6.
Yes.
Oh,
As Figrin sits there bleeding with multiple arrow shafts protruding out of his body, and the Instaclot is kind of dumped into the spots, and a tight bandage and tourniquet to stop the bleeding. He sets a cigarette in Figrin's mouth and lights it. Perfect.
Figrin nods and obeisance and says, "These things will kill you."
and that is Fang's turn.
Thank you very much.
What did you roll for the cigarette?
Only 1, unfortunately, but
Okay.
it's better than
Yeah, that is better than nothing.
nothing. It just happened. That was a smart move.
Okay. Jax.
Listen, I don't have your boots. My friend does. He's on the other building. You are welcome to go after him. I have no qualm with you. If you remember, I was very kind to you. Do you remember?
She looks very disappointed as you say you don't have her boots, and her shoulders kind of slump. And
you're
her
welcome to
big
have my
diver's
boots.
Helmet. Oh, you have boots? You have boots I can have?
Yeah, go for it. Take my boots. I don't need them.
Okay, so she seems excited about this prospect, and she comes closer to you. And as she moves closer, she said, "Yes, I saw you. I saw you in my mind. You were here. I saw you. Just like it was like I was looking down, and I saw you. Yes, I just took it as I needed to be here, so I came. I just knew I needed to be here." And what she's describing is that vision that you had of like other eyes looking at you, and yeah, and at that point, that's all that really happens. Is she kind of comes closer and is like, "Okay, like all right, like I'll take your boots.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take those off."
I'll take off my boots and I'll just hand them to her.
Okay. She kind of takes your boots and kind of like ties the laces together, like on her belt as almost like a trophy with like the boots hanging off, keeping her bare feet that are pretty well bloodied and calloused and everything at this point. But just kind of like, yes, these are good boots. When I make a new friend, I'll give them these boots, and I'll have more friends. It'll be the best. This is gonna be great. But I'd like so much to come with you. I'd like so much to see more things like I saw.
Oh man, I don't know. How are you?
You don't know.
How are you with flying?
Flying? I've never flown. I've stayed down. I don't like, but if it's away from the others, if it's away from people, I get to see more of those wondrous things. Then I don't know. I think that would be wonderful. I could make more friends. I could make more friends.
Could I
seems intrigued by it.
Could I show her the mainframe?
Yes.
No.
As you pull out the mainframe and she sees it, her eyes go wide, and she says, "This is an incredible thing. This I saw this thing. It showed me. It said come here. It said to come here. No one else can have it. No one else." And you see her begin to reach down for a big butcher cleaver that's hanging by her belt. She is not using it against you, and she doesn't appear to be aggressive toward you. She's just muttering something about the others can't have it. That is very specifically what she's saying.
Oh, well, this is mine to take care of.
Yeah.
Oh, and she looks at you. She looks down at the thing, and you see her eyes kind of glaze over a little bit. And she said, "It says that's okay. I'll just have to worry about the others." And she turns around and looks toward the door. And as she does, you see this ratty, nasty creature of a human being come. Their hair's overgrown, scraggly. It's like uniformed. What was once a slagger is just completely ratted and tattered. Its frame is emaciated. Its fingernails are overgrown, and it comes out and says, "A thing. Hey, it's my thing. I want the thing. It's mine." And it's like this paranoid voice, this voice of rage and paranoia and fear kind of comes out. And from another entrance on the other side of the rooftop, another one of these figures kind of like comes out of the door, and it's like, and you hear it saying something about like, I saw it. It said to come. And I could have it. And these things you're describing, like this vision was summoning, and there could be more coming. The small little framed girl in front of you hefts the cleaver and says, "No, it said the others can't have it," and runs at the one closest, ready to attack.
All right.
We'll come back to what happens next. But Jax, you're standing there. You've had the interaction. She seems to be acting almost on, if not your behalf, the mainframe's behalf, and you can move if you so desire. But I would say the interaction took all of your turn.
I'm just gonna move back.
Get in the plane and fly away.
I'm
Wait
waiting.
for me.
Yeah, he's just gonna like stand to the side of the plane. He's not gonna get close to it. He's probably like backing himself up just a little bit away, but he can't go too far because there's the edge.
One of the figures on the other side sees you and points its like gnarled finger and says, "It's mine. I saw it. I'm gonna have it." And it's like begins to like rush toward you with aggression.
All right, and I'm guessing that's slowly moving.
Dim, you're seeing, all you can really see from the distance is the figures arriving on the rooftop. You have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, I don't like it.
All right, Figrin, you're a cigarette in your mouth, just holding on to life. What do you do?
Figrin is still sitting up. He takes a long drag on a thing, kicks it away, chicken chomping menthols, and then he says, he sees the Rangers on the high rooftop above. He looks up at him, fixes his jaw, flips him the bird, pops smoke, and as the smoke cloud disperses and obscures near distance, he Spetsnaz rolls away from the position where he just was, toward the gondola.
Nope.
Go ahead and give me a D4 roll.
Ooh.
Okay. So that's 2 rounds, but the smoke will stay. So that's 2 additional rounds, I guess. And then, so the smoke goes. One thing that you do notice as you pop the smoke is the gondola that like Fang arrived on. You begin to see it go back through the smoke up toward where the Rangers are.
Okay.
Okay, and you're moving toward the other gondola to make your way to the other rooftop.
In that I want to be able to get on it in near distance. I don't necessarily have to be all the way there.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of ready yourself with popping the grenade and everything. You would kind of be able to make it to it, but you wouldn't be able to take that ride. Once you do take that ride, you would also be out of cover, but you're not. You're still covered by the smoke at this point.
Understood. My goal was to obscure us as targets on our own rooftop with no action.
Yep.
Okay.
Good. You got it. All right, Dim.
What's the timing of the gondola? If I ride the gondola across to Jax, can I also take an action, or is the whole thing just the gondola ride?
Okay, so you're on the far end of a rooftop, and
Yes.
so I think that taking the gondola, you would be like the way that time would play out is that you would be arriving at the roof at Jax's roof on your next turn, but you wouldn't be
Okay.
able to take an action on that roof.
Makes
You'd
sense.
be spinning everything just to get there.
What if I zip? Will that make it any faster?
Yeah, I can't say no to that.
I think you could get there, but would it giving her grit give her the action at the end of it? Because then it would be a dash. Kind of be like a dash. And
Yeah.
then spending a grit would give her an action.
I will say this. I think that is the perfect call, Kane. So
That is
if
awesome.
you spend a grit, you have to make the zip, but then that grit, and you can wait to see if you make the zip line.
Oh, okay.
So then you would use it, and then if you spend a grit at the end of that, you would be able to rush into action after you do the zip line.
Okay.
Okay. Here
I
we go.
swing my axe over the line, and I'm gonna zip. This is an easy
string. Let's go.
Come on, dice.
Come on.
Come on, dice.
Come on.
Oh! Oh!
You make it. You make it about 3/4 of the way down,
Yeah.
and
Oh, not your axe! Not your axe!
the barbed wire.
My
It's
axe is
snagged.
the one item I can't lose.
Okay, so what that will look like then is give me a second here.
Maybe you use your arm.
I do have these crazy arms on.
Here's
I will
the choice.
accept whatever judgment.
Yeah.
I did roll a
Here's
2.
the choice. You can sacrifice your axe, or you can hold on to your axe and overpower the exo arms, and the exo arms will break. So it's your choice of what breaks.
The exo arms break.
Okay. So the swings out of place. You reach up and grab the wire just in time. The whole heft of you, the junk shield, and everything, and just the final act of reaching out to grab the end of your axe kind of strains the whole system, and you just hear like a pop as these things are not meant to be stretched to that capacity, and they're no longer giving they're on you, but they don't give the benefit of making things easier as they're kind of harnessing fails. You are currently hanging on by a finger and need assistance in order to be brought out of your situation. So you're just like arm grip holding on, but someone has to help you. That gondola has to come or something.
Jux! Jux!
Okay,
I
go
need
ahead
some
and
help.
give me a D4 dying timer for how long you can hold on.
The dice have been so kind to me.
Okay,
There we go.
that's better than a 1.
Oh, you got it.
I can move it if you'd rather.
Yeah, go ahead and put it there. You got
Okay.
it. Okay.
That was
Whew.
great. What a great turn.
Okay. Gas mask ticks down. Here we go. Let's see. Trying to keep track of everything. Reinforcements are coming. That ticked down. The Rangers cannot see through the smoke to target you. They're gonna fire blind shots. And does it sound fair if they get a 20 that they hit, even if it's not like a killer shot? Because like they would still be trying to take shots through the smoke. They have no chance. Okay, here we go. So we're going to say if I get a 20, then I'll determine the random PC that it hits. Here we go. 4 arrows. Okay, so you guys are sitting on the rooftop and arrows are clattering all around you as they're just desperately trying to hit something, but all of them fail. The Kim Howler also takes shots blindly. 2 bullets ring out as the minigun belches. Here we go. +2 on his rolls. Also needs a 20. Fails. So you guys are just like arrows are hitting all around. Bullets are cracking against the concrete, but they're just heading wide of you. They have no idea where you are. I'm gonna go ahead and tick down that smoke on my turn, just so that will be clear because their actions are being affected. And then over here, this Slagger girl is tangling with another Howler, and I'm gonna have them roll to see who is succeeding in the tussle. She gets we'll just have competing D20 rolls. This is her roll, and this is the competing Howler. So as she like comes for an uppercut, this guy overpowers, grabbing her hand and like slamming her hand up against the wall, and her cleaver, butcher cleaver, clatters to the ground, and she kind of like scatters away, like kind of scampers away, like no, it said the others can't have it, you can't have it. And this thing kind of looms over. It's taken all of it to disarm her, but it's going to have a big advantage in any future conflict with her. This guy runs toward Jax and reaches out with both hands. Jax, I need a competing strength roll. I'm going to roll for this thing. This thing is going to get a D6 on top of the D20. So you need to beat a 7 with strength as it reaches to try to grasp your
That's
throat.
a dirty 20. It's mine.
Okay, so you are currently grappling with this thing, holding its hands away from you. It hasn't clutched you in the throat. You could try to throw its hands away and run away. That would be within your power, but you're kind of like locked and grappling with it. And with that tick down, and dim, and we're back to Fang. Fang, you're currently wearing jetpack.
Thank mainframe, you got a 19 on that.
Yeah.
You mute, son.
Who, mine?
No,
Sorry.
Fang.
Oh,
Sorry. Jetpack over, and that's my turn.
Okay. You hear the Rangers calling out, "There he is! He took Kruger's back! Get that son of a bitch!" Have their attention. Okay.
All right. While the main frame is being threatened, I gotta tussle and I gotta try to toss this guy.
Okay. What are you trying to do? Just get away from him?
Just tussle, and then just toss him in a direction to get away. I don't think
You're able to get away. You don't do any damage, but you're free. You're free to do what you desire. So what do you do?
Oh. Okay. I'll run over and just pull the lever to bring back the gondola because I can't reach Dim.
that's great. That's perfect.
Gondola's on its way. It'll reach you on your turn, Dim, as you kind of see it moving toward you. The gondola slowly moves toward Dim.
Don't let it knock you off.
I'll do my best. It's not going super great.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Gren?
From an intermediate position between the two gondola in the smoke, one gondola is traipsing back up toward the Rangers, correct?
That is correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It has reached them.
I will expend my last use of acetylene and blowtorch needs, and with whatever movement I have left, I'm going to get in this gondola.
Okay. So as the smoke, in the smoke, they just see the wire and the gondola fall. I'm going to roll a dice to see if one of them had stepped into the gondola yet. So here we go. 1 through 3, they had not. 4 through 6, they did.
Nice.
One of the Rangers had stepped into the gondola, and as you cut it, you just hear them screaming as the thing falls.
Bye, dude.
Wide. Here we go. So the wire goes limp, slinging up against the side of the building. The gondola and the Ranger are falling. I can't make him any smaller.
Yippee-ki-yay, Twinkle Turd.
Your acetylene torch does the trick. You get in the gondola, and the gondola, you're in mid-air as you're traveling through. And by the time the GM turn comes around, you would have reached the other side.
Okay,
Nice.
thank you. That's my turn.
Good job.
Nice.
Okay, Dim. The
I'm
gondola
gonna-
reaches you, and you're able to kind of set foot in it.
Climb in the gondola and finish my slow-ass ride.
As you ride the gondola and you get to the roof, you're shaken terribly by the
sure.
events. You almost died. And the steadiness of the gondola itself is almost unnerving. I need you to make a madness roll as you kind of like are sitting there watching like the attacking crazy people. Is that enough?
Is this
Did you make it?
straight, or do I add anything to this?
It's straight
against
up.
your
You want to
adrenaline.
get
Higher than my adrenaline.
correct.
So I made it. I only have 4 adrenaline.
Okay, you made it. Steady on to the rooftop.
Great.
With the gondola movement and him activating that, I'm going to say you start your turn on the rooftop. You can move and take an action. What do you do?
Oh, great. Thank you. I'm
Yep.
gonna chop the cable so that the gondola can't go back.
Okay. Go ahead and give me. That is going to be an easy strength roll, or actually, it's going to be effort. So I need you to just do enough effort to chop through it, since you can just hit it straight up.
Sure.
It's going to be a hard effort to cut through it. Well,
So 10.
Nice.
11. Sorry.
Nice.
That
One
is-
shot.
enough. And oh no, it should be there. One shot.
Epic.
Cool.
The gondola
And then-
falls.
I'm gonna move and get in this guy's face.
Nice.
Okay.
But we're gonna stay split.
Yeah, you're bought in at this point. I would say.
I can still get to you.
We're good. We each got a vehicle. We're good. I'm sure it'll
Okay.
be fine.
Okay. That is now back to me. The reinforcements arrive next round. Let's see. You guys have cleared the smoke. So they're going to take a shot. They're shooting like double far. So again, the whole do not miss thing. It's under natural talent. So now they're aiming against your defense to try and get a shot. So they're still excellent. A normal folk wouldn't be able to even take this shot. But here they go. So now there's this 3 rangers. All 3 are going to go after a particular target. It makes sense to me they would be vengeful against Kruger's assailant and stealing his pack, and so they are all going to be going after Faye. So here are 3 shots at Faye.
Whoa!
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Okay, and you take 7
7.
damage as arrows pierce Cynthia.
I'm at 1.
Okay, and these guys, what this looks like
Wow.
narratively is they're like slamming on the shoulder of this big brute of a Kim Howler, saying like, get that one, and like they want Thing dead for taking out Kruger. So these is going to be 3 shots from the minigun as it belches out 3 more bullets. And here are the that's a hit. So Fang, he gets +2 on the rolls, so you take 3 damage from a bullet that crushes into you, and I believe Fang is down.
Yep, 0.
Yeah, because of the Kevlar would have saved him, but he
Oh!
took 3 points.
How many points did I take?
3 from
I
a.
go 3 from the Kevlar.
Okay.
Nice.
1.
You get slammed in the back by a bullet, and the breath is knocked out of you. I'm going to say that you take an additional 1 adrenaline from the hit,
That's
as
awesome.
like your whole body's in shock. But yeah, you shrug it off as it hits the Kevlar vest.
Oh.
Okay, let me see here. So that's the Rangers. The smoke dissipates. The Howlers. Once again, this thing is fixated on the mainframe. So this guy is going to rush at you. He's rolling a d6 along with his roll. So I need you to be, Jax, I need you to be a 13 with strength.
Come on.
That's a 18.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Fine.
Yes.
Fine.
Okay.
You don't
It's
need
clawing
me.
at you.
You're
You're
good.
kicking the thing away. It's like clawing at your pant leg. The Howler girl, seeing this thing attack you, takes a broken shard of glass from her belt and swipes at the thing's throat. And she lands a hit. And she gets... okay, I don't know her bonus either because I haven't rolled it yet. So I'm going to roll a d6 to see what bonus she gets on rolls. She gets +6 to her damage rolls. She knows her work. She's eviscerated enough human bodies, and she lands that thing under the neck and drains it. And you see this Howler just slump at your feet as it's clawing toward you, trying to get the thing. And you see, like, she kind of like slings off the blood, like flicks it off and says, like, it said the others can't have it. It said the others can't have it. It said the others can't have it. And she kind of like sticks the shard of glass back in her belt. And this guy,
narratively, with Jax acing all of these grappling and combat roles, I just imagine that he has simply pulled a Matrix and downloaded Kung Fu. And is kind of
I'm more imagining that he's just like scrambling, like
whoosh, like everything.
he's just scrambling like a
Okay.
child. Like, nah, don't touch
He
me.
needs to matrix a pilot program so we can fly out of here.
Dim, I need you to beat I'll ask my other roll. I think it was a...
What's it say in your dice tray?
I know, I don't have both of them. I only have one of them. Okay, I think it was a 7. I just need you to beat a 7 with strength as this thing grapples.
Sure, no problem. Yep.
Okay.
6.
You got a 6?
Okay.
Oh man.
It is brought Dim down to the ground. It has its hands around your neck. The light is leaving your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Is that?
If
Do we have
you-
one last grit?
We do have one last grit.
We do.
That is true.
Burn it.
What do you guys think? A reroll? Or
Oh,
should I
well,
roll?
you
a
No,
get-
just add one, and you're gonna get it.
Oh, all right.
Just add
Oh
a
yeah,
D-
because it's 7. Yeah, you're right. It's a D12 to add to
Add
it?
D10.
Oh, is
And
it
adrenaline.
a D10?
D10,
Thank you.
yeah.
Sorry, I don't ever use grit.
No.
Well, it's a good thing it was
plus
only one.
Plus adrenaline.
Oh, plus
adrenaline.
4. Yeah, I cleared it then.
Okay.
So it's 5, so 11.
With you burning the grit, I will give you the additional benefit that you take this thing by its hands that were grasping your neck. You just clamp down on them and you fling the thing, and surprised by your own strength, the last little bit of battery seeps out of the exo arms, and this creature is flung from the rooftop as it gives a ghastly howl, falling to its death.
Cool.
You take another adrenaline. You take 2
Yep.
more adrenaline.
Okay.
And
I
this
am
creature
surprised by my strength.
is off the board.
Oh boy.
Okay, as we
Jax?
come back,
We gotta go,
To-
Jax.
where the scene is, Fang and Thigrin, with both of you being up, you would be able to reach a stairwell to make your way down to the garage, and
Yep.
so you would be out of range of these guys.
Cool.
The hostile howler have been eliminated. More are coming. Reinforcements are coming. So at this point, Rangers are just reaching the roof. But I think this is an appropriate place to say that you guys have cleared the danger, and now you're getting on the plane. You're getting down to the garage. You're stealing a car, and you're making your way out. So as we're kind of having this outro to kind of wrap it up, as you're getting on the plane, Jax and Dim, you would both be pretty confounded by how the controls actually work. But Jax, you get an inclination from like this voice in your head that says like, do this, do that, and like you flip the right switch, the engines start up. You flip the right switch, autopilot engages. You flip the right switch, it like launches into the air. And as your jet begins to launch into the air, the Howler girl looks up at you and is like, pleading with like puppy dog eyes and says, I know the others can't have it, but I want to see all the things. Can I come? Can I come and see? And she's asking for permission to come with you.
Come on in.
Think you might.
Yeah. She can come. She can join
Okay.
me in our little mainframe.
Aw,
The beginnings of our
You're-
mainframe cult.
your first convert.
She
Take the glass from her, though, man.
She
Yeah.
sits in a seat across from Dim and takes off the boots that Jax gave her, puts the boots on her feet like gloves, and claps the boots together, and just like it's just sitting there, just like a little kid, just having so much fun, just clapping the boots together. She's like, I have a new pair of boots, and I'm gonna make so many friends. And I have a new pair of boots, and I'm gonna make so many friends. As you take off and you get into an isolated cube with this thing, Dim, I need you to make one more madness check.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
What is the twos tonight? Plus
You make
nothing, so it's a fail.
Yep. Okay, you are losing your shit. This is the last moment.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a D20 roll. Just a straight up D20. Okay.
Oh no.
You gain 3 more adrenaline. And you are sitting there and your leg is just like shaking up and down. The spider venom and anti-venom is like coursing through your heart. You have been through the ringer and you look down into the soup and fog of the rune and leave it behind. Shifting over to the garage, Figrin and Fang find their ways into the garage. The Rangers are on alert coming in. You have your choice of a vehicle. What kind of vehicle would you find among the Ranger fleet? What would you take?
Fang at least takes the most sports car looking one,
That's we're right there. I ride shotgun.
Okay.
We found the fastest, best handling, most maneuverable thing we can, and we peel out of there.
Okay. You find a particular hot rod that, in fact, has, like graffitied on the side, graffitied on the back of the car. It says Kruger's other jetpack. And you get into the car and speed away, like slamming out the barrier, leaving behind this soup of the fog once again. The last thing that I will say as we wrap this up is, as the jump jet takes off, Jax, it is on autopilot, and you take a moment to look out the window, and standing on the rooftop of Orvold's apartments, you see a figure standing with all confidence daunting, surrounded by monstrous, huge chem howlers, his whole cadre of royal guard. And you see a heavily bandaged and limping chemist staring with death in his eyes as you kind of like lock eyes, and the plane drifts out of view, knowing that he is alive. The vault was not destroyed, and someday soon he will have access to it. And with that, we end our session.
Beautiful.
Nice.
My head hurts. Like, in a very good way, but my head hurts.
What a great game.
Yeah.
I know, right?